Vegas, baby. Sin City. But luck only gets you so far here. Over 1,100 teams from across the globe competed in the Road to Vegas CSGO qualifier. Now, only 2 remain. Led by Coach Lord, member of the legendary Golden 5 lineup. Lounge Gaming locked down the EU Grand Finals. The Poles face off against former Team Conquest.
And it's Vegas, baby, for Conquest.
With a new name, OpTic Gaming are North American hopefuls that have been making big noise on the CSGO scene. A $50,000 prize pool is on the line, along with an invitation to the inaugural E-League tournament coming this summer.
E-League's going to be the biggest thing in 2016.
This match is really important to us.
It's the E-League Road to Vegas Championship. Next.
E-League has landed. In December, 1,200 Counter-Strike Global Offensive teams across 2 continents competed for the chance to make it here, the finals of the E-League Road to Vegas. $50,000 will be on the line here, the winner taking the lion's share, $35,000 here, which will be distributed in a best-of-3 showdown. My name is James Bardolph. I'm here from FACEIT Media. I'm joined by Richard Lewis, an esports journalist, and Duncan Thorin-Shields, an esports historian. So the last 2 years have seen epic growth in Counter-Strike. We've gone from what could be considered a niche game to one of the premier games in the entire industry. We had, in the previous 12 months, about $2 million on the line. E-League alone is going to have $2.4 million across the entire year. How are you feeling about this, Richard?
Well, it's about time, in my opinion. You know, it's been incredible growth. You've just seen there, we've come in. All the other sports titles were up alongside now. You know, NBA, we've got the PGA Tour, all of that kind of stuff. So it's a huge kind of watershed moment for Counter-Strike. And as you say, now it's actually becoming incredibly lucrative, thanks to big companies like Turner coming in and legitimizing what has always been sort of a niche concern, where only the hardcore kind of esports fans like ourselves have really been sort of championing it.
I mean, I remember in the early days of CSGO, only we're talking like 2 or 3 years ago, there was a tournament where it had 40,000 people watched, and everyone actually had to break the numbers down and go, actually, there was a different reason, there was a better game on after that, there's no way the number could ever be that high. Now we've had like 1 million unique people watching a tournament before, so obviously the game has exponentially grown, and with potentially coming on the television, there's a new market can open for it.
Yeah, we find ourselves here now at CES in the Sands Expo in Las Vegas, so you could say it's new territory for Counter-Strike. Are you looking forward to the future here with E-League?
Well, I mean, first of all, I want to say this is my first time in Vegas. What a place! Like, it's an assault on the senses. It was a bit upsetting we had to have an early night last night. I wanted to hit the tables.
You wanted to go full Hunter S. Thompson?
Well, I did. He was quoted at the start there. I did want to go a bit gonzo on it, but I didn't get the opportunity to. But yeah, I mean, this just looks amazing. And like I say, I think it is new territory for us. It's going to get more kind of glamorous. Those of us who've been in esports for a while, I mean, some of the places we've followed tournaments.
We were in backcountry back then, Mitch.
Yeah, we were,
so,
mate.
Keep going.
So yeah, it's awesome. I think E-League's going to kind of propel us to the new level now. You know, we're going to be on TV, we're going to be alongside mainstream sports, and I think people are going to see something that they like here. So.
Well, we're going to have a look at the teams now and see how they made it all the way here to Vegas. The first team up is going to be Lounge Gaming. We're going to have a look at the tournament bracket, where they were playing other teams around Europe online, and see exactly how they made it to this point right here. Okay, so we can see it was quite difficult for them. Lounge Gaming, the rank 3 team from Poland, who ended up toppling the rank 2 team, which was quite a surprise after they took on Mouse Sports. Again, that was another solid victory for them, a 2-0. They 2-0'd Vex as well there, and then took down Dignitas in the final 2-1. So possibly some upsets there.
I mean, certainly some upsets. If you look at the teams at the beginning, you're going to say the strongest teams here is G2, got Mouse Sports, Dignitas, and obviously in the end, I mean, Lounge Gaming got a little bit of help. Dignitas took care of G2 for them, and then they had to just play Dignitas. But to even get to play Dignitas, you have to realize they had to beat Mouse Sports. We know they have some phenomenal players in their team. Then, if they'd have played Vex is supposed to be better than Lounge Gaming at the moment. So to get there, they had to earn their way there. Like, you can look at the tournament and go, okay, maybe the best team on paper didn't get out that bracket, but to get that far, you had to beat those teams essentially.
Yeah, and they came from the open qualifier as well to be there. They were playing these top-level teams, and it's absolutely insane. You look at the teams on that bracket, there's no way you're ever picking Lounge to be here in Vegas. No way. No one who was placing bets on that would have said that was going to happen, and yet it did. And it's crazy. They're one of the youngest teams in the bracket. They're one of the most inexperienced teams in the bracket. So you've got this real Cinderella story kind of panning out already, just for them to be here, regardless of whatever happens here in Vegas.
Okay, now we're going to have a closer look at lounge gaming.
I'm Mariusz Cybulski. I'm from Warsaw, Poland, and I'm coaching the CSGO launch team.
My name is Paweł Mocek. My nickname is Innocent. At this moment, I took the role of in-game leader.
My name is Grzegorz Dziamałek. My nickname is SZPERO.
My name is Oskar Stenborowski. My alias is oskarish.
Müller. My nickname is MICHU. My name is Mikołaj Karolewski. My nickname is mouz. I'm playing for lounge gaming.
At the first, we thought that we are not going to participate in qualifiers because we are fresh after the roster changes, and we thought that we needed more practice.
We had to play a lot of good teams. It was a tough road. They are a young team and they are hungry to win.
We beat every opponent, and yeah, and now we are looking to maintain our streak.
I am excited to be here, but I can't do nothing because I am only 18 years old.
Las Vegas was one of the dream places to me, and I always wanted to come here.
Most important thing at the moment is that the chemistry is really great.
Our team become now very good because of our atmosphere and chemistry.
We are one of the youngest teams in the world.
Of course, they have a lot of potential.
This match is really important to us, and we will do everything to win it. If we win this show match, we win $35,000 and slot into E-League.
The guys really want to play in this league,
which is probably the most important league in 2016.
That might be the most important thing since they started to play Counter-Strike.
Welcome to the stage, Lounge Gaming. Ba. Am I? Damn, they're Warriors.
Okay, so lounge gaming, an extremely young team. I think the average age on the team is about 18 years old, so you have to wonder if this kind of scale, this spectacle is going to be a bit intimidating for the team.
An absolute tragedy that they're all so young and they're going to come to Vegas and it's just been early nights and glasses of warm milk for them. I sympathize. Yeah, and look, I'll say straight off the bat, these guys are a young and upcoming team in Europe that don't let the age fool you. These guys have all got actually a deceptive sort of level of experience, and you know, they've been around, they've been looking for this opportunity, and here it is. They're really, really talented, really well regarded, and even though people are saying, oh, they're like the third best team in Poland and all this stuff, they've got players that have actually played with the top team in Poland, with Virtus.pro, guys like MICHU in particular. This is someone who stood in for that legendary team, hasn't looked out of place, so I'm really psyched to see what these guys can do here.
I mean, like you said, they are one of the youngest teams. Like, even though the Conquest guys, some of them are newer to the top tier of CS, their average age is a couple of years older. Actually, they have a little more experience. They've played in other teams. So the thing is, I think the storyline for this particular Lounge Gaming team is this is the ultimate parlay. Yeah. To even get to this point, they had to go through a crazy list of teams, and then if they can win this, they can get into the E-League. If they didn't win this qualifier, they would not be invited to the E-League. This is really a big Cinderella story.
So our player focus for this team is MICHU. What can we tell the viewers at home about MICHU here?
Well, as Richard alluded to, his main fame doesn't come from this team. It actually comes from the best team in Poland, is Virtus.pro, and they're one of the all-time great teams. And anytime they've needed a stand-in, they've used this guy. They've used him in 3 different tournaments, and the thing is, he's never actually played badly in the tournaments where they used him as a stand-in. So he hasn't crumbled under the pressure of playing with legendary names like some of the former teammates of Lord. He has never been a standout in those teams necessarily, but he's obviously the guy where the reason people watch him really is inevitably one day a Virtus.pro player will retire or be removed. So then if they've used this guy that often, it's kind of thought, okay, maybe he's the guy they're grooming, like he's going to be the next in line to join. So we're always watching him in that sense to see, like, will he show the quality where he'll either lead this team and be a star, or one day he'll be a Virtus.pro player.
Yeah, and that's what kind of happened before. When they brought Snacks and Bialy in to create that 5 that is the #1 team in Poland right now, a lot of people were saying MICHU's going to be in there, and he wasn't. He was overlooked. So every time he plays, he's in the shop window. You know, he's the guy that is going to fill the shoes of those legends one day. It's just when it's going to come.
All right, so now we're going to go over the ocean, so to speak, and have a look at the North American team, OpTic. We can have a look at the bracket and see how they made it over to this tournament.
It's
amazing to play in Vegas. It's my first time here.
Coming in, flying in, seeing all the lights at night.
All the buildings are so lit up. There's a ton of people here for CES. It's like tech central. Everyone relevant to tech and gaming is here.
My name is Damian Steele. My alias is daps, and I'm currently the in-game leader for OpTic Gaming.
My name is ShahZem Khan. I'm the opera of the team. I've been the opera for every professional team I've ever played on.
My alias is Stanislaw. My position is entry fragger.
My alias is NAF. I am the lurker for the team. I kind of get people in the back, catch them off guard. Our team right now has a long history together as players.
We all have a really unique relationship with each other. We're all friends inside the game and outside of the game, so that really helps with our chemistry.
Chemistry in CSGO is pretty important because you already know what your teammates usually do in certain situations.
Our team dynamic is the best I've ever had within a team, and we just mesh really well together.
Getting here it's kind of controversial because we were able to avoid teams like Cloud9 and Liquid, but the thing about that is we did our job of beating the teams we were supposed to, so we feel we earned our spot to be here.
We did what the better teams couldn't do, and that was beat the lower-ranked teams, so not much else to say about that.
Right now, our biggest rival is Lounge Gaming, and all we want to do is win.
That's what we're going for. We don't want to take home that second place.
We really want to be in Turner's E-League. It's going to be one of the most exciting things about CSGO for 2016.
Welcome to the stage, OpTic Gaming.
So OpTic is a team with some familiar faces we've seen, like daps and ShahZaM, who used to play with each other 2 teams ago, you could say, for ShahZaM, who is going to be our player focus on the North American side. So what can we tell the crowd about ShahZaM?
Well, first, let's talk about the elephant in the room before we even get to ShahZaM, right? Okay, so this team's just been picked up by OpTic Gaming. A lot of people have been really disparaging about that pickup. I'm going to just break the spell and say I don't think it was OpTic Gaming's first choice. I don't think that's going to upset anyone or offend anyone, but that's the reality. But they've gone with these guys because they know they want to get into CSGO. They know that the Turner League's coming. They've got to have a team there, and this is who they've gone with. Now, I think a lot of people are underestimating this particular lineup. I think they've had some good runs lately in tournaments, and when you talk about guys like ShahZaM, he's already been in a top team. He's already been part of Cloud9. He was already earmarked for stardom, and he crumbled a little bit. There's no getting away from it. He didn't live up to his billing. I know he's smiling, he probably hear me, but I'm just going to tell the truth. I love you, brother. Have a good game. But anyway, he knows, right, that he already had that chance. Was he going to get another one? Often in NA, the politics means you don't. Well, he does. This is his comeback trail here with OpTic Gaming, and if he can come up big, it's going to be a hell of a story.
I actually quite liked the previous lineup he was on before he was picked by that top team, where daps was again the in-game leader. It was the old Denial lineup, and it had ShahZaM, and they were a good unit, and they had good progress and so on. And then ShahZaM was cherry-picked by Cloud9, taken to that top team. And the rest of the team, you could say, didn't really have the success they had before. It was a shame. I didn't think it was the best pickup for Cloud9. You saw it didn't work out eventually, but now those two are back together again with a new lineup here, and you saw in the interview they like their lineup. daps thinks it's the best, but then every fighter says he's in the best form of his life, so
true.
How much weight is in there you don't know. But I'm looking forward to what kind of performance they can have. Again, they've got the big brand now coming in from Call of Duty, which I'm sure you're familiar with. So does that add any additional pressure, the brand name of OpTic Gaming?
Well, just talking about pressure, both these teams are under different kinds of pressure. Duncan's already made the accurate point that Lounge Gaming are under the pressure that they maybe never get another invite to the E-League if they don't win this. They don't really have that caliber, they don't have that pedigree, they had to fight so hard to even get here. If they lose this game, maybe they don't get invited back to the big boys table. Meanwhile, OpTic, this is like one of the biggest brands in esports. This has got reach of like millions and millions of fans, and all of a sudden this team that were like maybe 4th or 5th in NA, they've been propelled into representing them, and again, potentially an E-League. So they're under a different kind of pressure, and I think the OpTic brand does bring some pressure to it.
Yeah, the key thing here is if you want to set the storyline, like I said, so for the Polish guys, they have to win here, but it's a crazy chance anyway to get in the league. OpTic probably will be in the league anyway. They're a team that will be earmarked to potentially be an invite if they didn't win this, but if they don't win this, so all those teams they said that they avoided in the qualifier, that got upset by lesser teams, they can all say, oh, we would have definitely beaten that Polish team, that we would have gotten in. You guys aren't a top team, you didn't defend home court, as it were, when we came over to Vegas that time. So I think these guys have to succeed. And if we're talking about ShahZaM, he's someone where that storyline of his career, just in a playing focus, he has this huge pressure on him because he was fantastic in that Denial team.
Yep.
One great tournament performance at the season 17 2017 ESEA finals against Cloud9 was what got him his spot on Cloud9. But then in Cloud9, he failed. I mean, he said that he was the AWP on every team. He did technically buy the AWP in Cloud9. He didn't hit a lot of AWP shots with it. So after that, most people were like, well, he'll never be a top player again. But it's always in these second-tier teams within NA that he's shined. He's been given free reign to do what he wants. He's had really good performances. He had one a couple of months ago at CEVO Season 8. So the thing for ShahZaM is, he's the guy where it feels like the other pros don't want him to succeed. They're like, you've had your chance, you proved you couldn't make it. So he's kind of got a lot of pressure, even from his peer group going on. So I think for the pressure in terms of ShahZaM and in terms of OpTic is the rest of the NA pros are like, listen, we want you to fail here. We don't want you to succeed.
We're going to move into the vetoes now and see what maps these teams will be playing each other on. Each map has a different layout and has certain pros and cons, which can favor certain team styles. And, you know, people tend to have a home map that they practice there most, and other teams will try and counterpick that. So I think, Duncan, you can take us through the picks and bans, which are about to come on the screen.
Yeah, and there was a little surprise here, actually. So in terms of the bans, we have an Inferno ban from Lounge. Not that surprising, actually. That's a map that they never play. That's their permanent ban. But then here's what's interesting. The ban from OpTic is actually Cash, which is a strong map for the Polish guys, for Lounge. That makes sense. But the reason it's weird is because usually the permanent ban for OpTic is Dust 2. But actually, here's where they won out in the pick ban, because look on the next section here. So the pick we have is Train for Lounge guys. They are very strong on that, but here's the thing. They very rarely get to play it. So in stats, it doesn't show up. And that's because Polish teams notoriously good on Train, so they just don't get to play often. So good pick for them. Then you go over to the OpTic side, and they've actually picked
Cobblestone.
Cobblestone, okay. So that's actually a decent map for them. It's one of their better ones. But here's what's interesting, is that in the next ban phase, it's actually Lounge who bans Dust 2. So that's where the ban would have gone for OpTic before. They gambled and didn't do it, but they also knew it's not a strong map for the Poles. So they've actually kind of tricked the Poles into banning the map they wanted banned. And as a result, it's the OpTic guys who get to pick the last map, essentially. So the last two maps that were available were Overpass and Mirage. Now, what's interesting here is they've actually decided to go with Mirage as the decider here. So that in itself is a bit of a curveball, because I would have expected Mirage slightly to be favoured to the Polish guys.
Yeah, I could totally agree with that. I think they've missed a trick here because, you know, the run they had at CEVO, the Overpass maps that they played, they won, and they were beating elite level teams at that event. So I don't know, maybe they haven't had time to kind of cement their practice regime on that map. Maybe they've got someone up their sleeve for Mirage, but I don't know. I think OpTic might have made it a little bit tougher for themselves than they had to with that veto.
Yeah, the thing for me is, in terms of two teams, I think OpTic is the better team, the better unit. So against the rest of the world, I'd pick OpTic to place further in a tournament. But when I look at this map breakdown, I think it actually slightly favours Lounge. But luckily, the way the map's set out, I think the first two do favour the teams that have picked it. So I think we've got a good chance of seeing three maps here.
Yep. And I was just about to get into that, the final predictions from the desk here as to what we expect in this best of three. Again, it is the first of two maps, which will be the victor here. So, Duncan, what kind of score are you expecting here? It sounds like a 2-1
Yeah,
of these
I'm thinking 2-1 to the Lounge guys, but I do think this first one, Train, I think that's going to go to Lounge, but I do think the second one, I think that's actually where you're going to see a map go over to OpTic. So at least we'll get the decider, and obviously, when you go a full three maps, some of the map veto, some of the strengths do go a bit out the window, because then it's high pressure when you get to the third map there.
Yeah, I think for me, I think Train definitely has to go to the Polish team. I think Cobblestone, while I would probably slightly favour OpTic on it, I don't think it's academic by any means. Some of the players in this team for Lounge obviously represented Poland at the World Championships that we had in Serbia, and they were very good on Cobblestone, so it's not like they're unfamiliar on the map. So I expect that one to be close. But yeah, I think it's going to be 2-1 as well, but just because it was what I said coming into this, I'm going to stick with OpTic to edge it on home soil.
Okay, so now we're going to throw over to the casters, which will be DDK, Anders, and Semler, who will take you through the rules.
All right. Perfect. Thank you so much, James. So, quick breakdown of the rules for everybody tuning in. If you're new, just joining us, it's a very quick game. It's a very simple game. So, the defense have 3 win conditions: eliminating the offense, defusing the bomb, and running down the clock. If the time runs out, the offense loses. So the offense have 2 win conditions: planting the bomb and defending it, or eliminating the defense. So the first team to win 16 rounds wins the game. And we're going to be getting into the action pretty soon here, guys. So joining me at the desk, my name is Semler. With me is DDK and Anders. And we're going to be getting into this, boys. This is it, map 1.
Yeah, I'm so ready, and we're going to see that it's OpTic Gaming starting on the terrorist side and Lounge Gaming on the CT side here. Already off to a bit of an aggressive start here with Innocent pushing the main entrance into the courtyard. ShahZaM is on the other side, so you've got to be a bit careful here. This is a tricky position to be in, close with the Glock with the USPS there. You've got to be careful, and Innocent does fall back here. It's looking like an A split at the moment, and Lounge do have 4 people here.
Yeah, they do have the setup already. and they actually have 2 by Ivy, so this could actually work out really well for the defense here. Lounge Gaming, they're going to be in position to catch this push as it comes through, and already mouz, perfect flash. He's forced back, completely blind, and this gives a big opening here to OpTic Gaming to get onto this site.
What a big opening. Stanislaw opening up, but Innocent hits a running shot. Stanislaw with the second shot now coming in, and Innocent's going to be gone. It's now a double kill here for the NA player, and still plenty of time left as daps takes down MICHU. It's all up to SZPERO alone in a 1-on-4 with 13 health, and the bomb is down as well. There's no way out of this one.
That was a nice shot by SZPERO. Just a quick click, and he spots the man at alley as well, so they're getting information on the setup here for the defense. But he's alone. He's got 13 HP. He has a kit, which will help him defuse that bomb, but he's not going to be able to get in fast enough. daps is there to hold the line, and this is the perfect start here for the North American team.
Yeah, and that was just a really nice bread and butter play there from OpTic. It's just really, really simple coordination from 3 prongs, that attack. They hit their opening shots, and pistol rounds, it's just about hitting the shots at the end of the day. Nothing too complicated, but great start on the T side is going to be very important. Getting off to start off a very good economy, and Lounge, they won't be seeing an AWP, any sniper rifles, anytime soon.
But I kind of like the fact that they picked up a scout, and they're going to hit a headshot on ShahZaM. That only is a 1 kill if you hit the headshot, and that's what he did. So big start. Innocent going to take down Stanislaw, and now the terrorist side is definitely in some trouble here. He's managed to reload the gun as well. The bomb is down in Pop Dog, and they've got to be careful they don't let go of that. Right now, they're playing on 3-on-5, and they should be winning this round. They got the superior weaponry, they got the armor as well, and Lounge Gaming, the Polish team here, they might be coming up with a big round.
This is a really, really big deal right now because Lounge also have a player flanking here in MICHU, so he's going to be able to get extra information. But on this map, it's so hard to get through the choke points. NAF will create an opening by taking down Innocent, and Rush is going to try to get into the yard now, but this is still very hard for OpTic.
mouz is in a very good position right now. If he peeks out exactly with that CZ75, he hits the headshot. Down to 2 players now, OpTic. They're getting whittled down. This is the perfect play here for Lounge. They want to slow this pace down, and MICHU's in there with the flank, and he gets the backstab. Lounge come right back after losing the pistol round, which is what's going to give more money. If you win that round, it starts you off with the guns. Lounge actually managed to come back into it with the pistols, with the low econ buy, and they pull it off. So a lot of pressure now on OpTic. They get that perfect start, like we said, but then they just can't hold on to it.
Well, they didn't get many kills in the pistol round, but the couple that they got allowed them to buy the scout, which got the opening kill as well, and that's a small detail, but definitely important. And on OpTic's side, no armor, not even a single grenade picked up. So this is just, they've upgraded their pistols a little bit from the Glocks, which is definitely a good idea. I kind of wish they'd still picked up a flashbang just to try and get in here, but I think this is just a round that's played for the bomb plant. Another headshot from SZPERO, and they're trying for that plant. They will get it through, and that's going to give them a bit of a bonus here, $800 on each team member, but they're not going to win the round. Stanislaw left alone, and only Oskarish goes down on the Polish side.
One thing that really encouraged me from Lounge in that previous round, which was a really important one, where they kind of had the upset victory with a 4-spy against the guns of OpTic, was once they got that cool situation where we hit a couple nice shots, just before OpTic can get through the choke points, they immediately set up as a team. They immediately set up a flank. They coordinated around all these choke points, and OpTic were in this position with like, guys, what just happened? They're kind of frozen and trying to figure out how to handle the situation, and Lounge are all over it. So really encouraged by the Poles at the moment.
It is a high-pressure situation, especially when you feel like you have the advantage, you have the firepower, you're supposed to win that round, and they aren't able to do it. Now is the time, though. OpTic, they have the money for the rifles. They're a little light on nades, though, but they will be going for a quick smoke execute out onto the A site, trying to cut up that site, make it easier for them to get out here and get that bomb plant, but mouz is in a great spot. Spots the first man, takes him down, and he even does a little bit of damage on the way out.
Oh, that Molotov doing significant damage, but SZPERO with the AWP, mouz going to go down to daps finally. They've got to fight back. They've got to inflict a lot of damage. 1 kill is not enough. They've got to destabilize that counter-terrorist side economy and get a couple of kills in, and preferably, obviously, a bomb plant. But winning the round when you're a man down like this is going to be tricky. ShahZaM opening up with a big kill there on SZPERO, and now it's down into a 3-on-3. They might be trying to fight their way back here. Innocent, not sure where they are outside.
Innocent actually kind of rotating into a safe spot here. MICHU holding, but he's going to get taken out by SHAZAM as well. There's Innocent. He takes out daps. So we're back into a 2-on-2. Advantage still here for Lounge. They have the utility. They have the nades to work with, and they're actually changing up their position. Very clever play here. They gave away their positions with the shots earlier, and so now they're going to try and shift things up and see if they can't catch OpTic off guard. OpTic, they have so many angles to worry about trying to get onto this site to plant safely. It's going to give a big opportunity here for Lounge Gaming to push out and actually catch them in the back.
Nice flick from ShahZaM. That's going to be the 3rd kill of the round, and there's a reason why we highlighted this player in the beginning. This is where he really has a chance to shine. Innocent in a 1-on-2. He's trapped. He's sandwiched in here, and that bomb is ticking away. He's getting shot at the back, and Rush is going to take him down, and that'll be OpTic equalizing for a 2-2 scoreline here. I love the play from Lounge. I mean, what do you think, Dan? That was a smart move.
Yeah, it's really nice for them to try to reposition and go back there, but Lounge actually had a really good defense because the whole play from OpTic is to get the bomb down really quickly, and they lost 2 players immediately. They didn't get a forward position, and that still allowed Lounge to just play in these really nice positions and nice setups. But moving into this round, OpTic able to actually switch the economy back straight away, so this is really open at the moment.
Yeah, I think we have to call out MICHU there. He had 100% kill, the one that would have made the difference in the round. If he could have picked up that long-range shot from Ali, that would have been it, done. OpTic wouldn't have been able to get onto that site. But him missing the shot gave the North American team the opening to get in there and win that round. So, I was about to say that ShahZaM, he's just not going to have the money to buy a sniper rifle anytime soon, but he gets gifted one. So now it's his time to shine. He can go for that opening pick to make it easier for his team to get out here onto the bomb site.
They do need that, but if you look at the Polish side here, they're not showing themselves. They're probably a little bit scared. He did get a triple last time, and there's the shot again. Innocent going down in Pop Dog, and that's going to be a really big opening, and that gives them a bit of room to work with. Mouse going to be dropping Stanislaw, so it is back in onto a 4-on-4 here. Still plenty of time on the clock. We've just passed the minute mark, and we'll see if they can make it work. NAF-FLY picking up, or sorry, going down to Mouse, and that once again puts them in a disadvantage.
Easy shot there for ShahZaM. He's already prepared for the angle. He knows exactly where Mouse is playing from. Mouse did good work, though. He got 2 kills before he was taken out. And this sets it up here nicely for SZPERO. He's going to be coming in here with the Swag 7. Point blank. There it is. First shot goes through. And now the man advantage here for Lounge, but they've taken a lot of damage in the process. ShahZaM will find oskarish. And now it's going to be down to the 2 remaining players here for OpTic to find this bomb plant somehow.
ShahZaM is really putting in a lot of work right now. It's another triple kill, and he's still almost on 100 health. The bomb is going to go down with about 20 seconds left. There's no defuse kit yet picked up on the Lounge Gaming side, which means they're going to take a long time defusing that bomb, and MICHU going to pick up the kill on Rush, and now it's all on ShahZaM. He's going to have to go essentially for the ace here to win the round, but he certainly has the time. He's got his side turn, though. He might be shot to the side of the face, and he's back in now. There's the spray, takes on the 4, goes for the quad, but not going to be able to get it. The ace just escapes him, and MICHU, he's going to win the round. He'll have enough time. And again, if you are new to the game, buying a defuse kit will sort of half the time it takes to defuse down to 5 seconds instead of 10, and that's a lot of time in a game of Counter-Strike.
And this was just beautiful stuff here once again from Lounge. They keep showing that even when they have their backs to the wall, where they have a huge disadvantage, they're actually able to scram together a play very quickly, which can work. And OpTic are showing in these spots where they are supposed to be taking these rounds, they're supposed to be taking advantages. As soon as something goes wrong, they're really having trouble adjusting, so the mid-round calling is kind of being a little bit iffy for OpTic at the moment.
It's all by the seat of your pants, right? They're just trying to improvise on the fly, and so far, the Polish team is coming out ahead in those situations. Innocent up close with the CZ. This is just fine. Lethal range here. If somebody comes down that ladder, he's going to take their face off immediately.
And it's smart as well, because they will hear the sort of the smoke bloom, so they'll think that no one is playing that close, but in fact he pushes through his own smoke to try and trick them out. SZPERO gonna go down. There's a nut shot coming out of Stanislaw, and there's oskarish dropping as well. 2-for-1 trade in the B-bomb site with the bomb down in a round. Again, no armor and no rifles except for the one that they stole here. Grenade, there's a double touchdown there. MICHU gonna pick up Stanislaw and Rush on the back of that, and daps and NAF-FLY gonna have to somehow defend this bomb.
And now it gets real nasty, because you're going to have these predictable spots. Exactly. NAF is going to go for the peak, but they know he's there for days, and it's going to be down to daps now. But he's been smoked off. Those shots at the P250 give away his position as well. OpTic are going to see him coming from a mile away, and he cannot stop that defuse from going through. The Lounge, they will hold on. He tries to do a little bit more damage, and he doesn't manage it in the end. 3 players will survive for Lounge. That's so important. That's going to maintain their economy here.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy that they even got a couple kills there, because you would actually expect with a setup like that, Lounge were anticipating that play, but the 2 players playing defensively on the B site where OpTic attacked, they couldn't hit their shots there. That's a really big red flag. That could be something that OpTic are thinking about in the future. Is this defense weak? We're going to poke B a little bit more. If they got executes for that site, we might see some set plays there in the future, but this round so far, OpTic actually opening up just with a passive play to begin with to kind of maybe find a pick before they go in for a site push.
Clever positioning there by SZPERO. He knows that ShahZaM keeps going into A main, and there it is. He gets the kill. He plays off the tendencies here. He spots out that ShahZaM likes to play from the main opening. They will manage to bring it back here, OpTic. They find the kill on Innocent, who likes to play Pop Dog. So OpTic, they strike right back into this, bring it back to a 4-on-4, and this favors the T side, because when they group up to go onto a site, there's going to be one less guy on the defense to stop them from getting in there.
You've got to wonder right now if Lounge are going to want to play for information in that case. Well, oskarish actually finds nearly finds a kill. He couldn't actually finish it, then does some damage to daps, but he's going to have to go back for more. He sees 3 players. He knows where they are, but that Molotov going to force him out into the open. He almost dies to it, and now, well, 4-on-4, it's going to be a full retake here. Another grenade from SZPERO to drop Stanislaw, and that bomb is not down yet. He was the one planting it. oskarish goes down, and Rush now has to continue. He's got 1 health left. SZPERO going to be picking up daps, and now it's a 2-on-3 bomb. Is it finally going to go down? It will, but Mouse picking up the 1, and now it's all on NAF.
NAF, he's in a decent spot here. They're both so very low, and he's going to get all 3 at the end. Picks up the win for OpTic. That is a key round right there. You can see they know it over on the NA side. They know that they just won a key round here in the half, and it's really going to put Lounge on the back foot as far as the momentum is concerned here. And yeah, this actually might be an eco round out of Lounge, so it gets easier for OpTic now as well. They're just going to be dealing with the pistols.
Yeah, and you definitely would be expecting Lounge to be able to get more rounds on the CT side. Typically speaking, it is as we can see, it's quite generally speaking not so hard to defend. You've got a lot of choke points to deal with. It can be quite difficult for the Terror side to get out of there. But when the economy is weak, when they can't get all the grenades they want to use defensively, when they can't get the sniper rifles they need as well to play the big ranges, which should be an advantage, we'll see a big swing in rounds and advantages for the T side. So OpTic are in a perfect position now to get a really strong advantage into this match. So I'm really looking for something creative here from Lounge, because they need to be able to break OpTic sooner rather than later.
Yeah, we got to mention as well the rifles on the CT side are just a bit more expensive, and you also got to buy diffuse kits, and generally you need a lot more smokes, so it's going to be harder to maintain the CT side economy, and it's going to be hard for them to bring it back. That was an excellent shot though from mouz, picking up daps, who was sort of weirdly pushing out on his own. He did get a little bit of information. NAF is going to get the kill here, and Rush and ShahZaM helping out. A good double kill coming in from Rush and Innocent. Well, they do get 2 kills, so it's not a completely terrible round, but that ties the scoreline. I think you're right, Dan, as well. This is a good situation right now for OpTic.
But actually, again, there we saw a little bit more damage than should have been done to OpTic on some of these pushes. They're looking a little bit flimsy when it comes to playing against a low economy, like a save round from the CTs. So OpTic, we need to see better executions in some of these rounds, which they can anticipate.
It's all coming down to those angles and a bit of the luck of the draw. And actually, we're going to see a change of pace here from OpTic. They push straight out A main. NAF is going to bring it back, but it's just turning into an all-out brawl here on A side. They do retain the advantage, though, Lounge Gaming. They've got that man up. And now it comes down to whether ShahZaM can land the big shot. He's not going to do it. He gets taken out. daps is there for the refrag, though, but it's still, so long as Lounge can maintain this man advantage, OpTic should not be able to get the bomb plant, especially now that Innocent, he's in a backstab position. Oskarish will pick up the man, and Rush from PopDog will find one. But again, now, Lounge, they have to hold on to this. They cannot allow OpTic to pick up this bomb and get the bomb plant.
I definitely don't agree with what Rush is doing right now. He's trying to go for it. He ends up going down to oskarish. And the reason why I think it was a bad idea is because he had about 1 minute and 20 seconds left. He could have moved anywhere on the map. Instead, he managed to sort of sneak out where they already knew that he was. It would have been much better for him to use the time that he had to try and play that 1-on-2. But I mean, it's a tough position either way.
Looks like we could very well see a set play now from OpTic Gaming after taking that really fast play to kind of basically beat Lounge and just find them in this position where they just don't expect the pace coming out the T side. It didn't work. It came down to the individual plays. Lounge, they stood to the task there, and now we're going to see OpTic moving in for the B play, but there's 2 players close here for CSGO Lounge, so they might very, very well have a strong defense here. But last time it didn't go so well for them. Hopefully, for Lounge's sake, it'll be different this time.
And they already have the 3rd man rotating in. Innocent, he's in connector, so they will have 3 players here on the B site with the nades and the rifles to hold this push when it comes through. And they're even taking a little bit, these are safer positions as well, falling back from the entrances. So with those Tech 9s, OpTic are hoping for that up-close shot.
Look at that, SZPERO. That's going to be a Molotov on his position. He's going to have to move eventually, so really smart play here. They're using the grenades to put the defense out of position, and now come the Tech 9's close range. Rush going to trade the kill. NAF-FLY going down on the CT side, and now SZPERO going to be dropping Rush here. So still a 3-on-4. Bomb has been planted. They've got a couple of grenades left here on the OpTic side. ShahZaM pushing through, and he's got the grenade out on the other side. MICHU going to end up going down. ShahZaM with the perfect blind timing there, and mouz is going to be dropping ShahZaM finally. So now 1-on-2, or 1-on-3 actually. Stanislaw, a lot of work to do in front of him here, and he gets a headshot on Innocent. He could just tab SZPERO, and he might win the round. He gets the headshot, but there's enough time for mouz to win it with a triple kill as well. That could have been very scary there for the CT side.
But how expensive was that for Lounge? They lost so much money in this round. Their economy is already in tatters. So now not only is their buy, or should it be quite weak, OpTic got the bomb down as well. So they're going to have this really excellent spot now. OpTic could potentially get a reset into Lounge's economy much sooner. But it looks like they are going to be going with a more conservative play this round. So Lounge will get some breathing room here, but I feel they're kind of lucky to be in that position.
This is a wise play coming out here from OpTic as well. They got that bomb plant money. Now they just put a minimum amount of money into this round here with the pistols, a couple of nades to try and set something up. We can see them going for that A execute. They're just going to cross their fingers and hope that they can get onto the site to get the bomb plant. Because when you plant the bomb and lose the round, you get the round money and you get a bonus $800 per player, which is almost a full set of nades. So OpTic, they're playing the economic game here. They want to focus on the next round that's coming up. And there we go. Very quick. just what we expect to see from an anti-eco situation with the rifles.
Right, but I'm actually a bit worried because it feels like OpTic haven't realized this particular play with the smokes, the sort of wall of smokes outside, it's actually been outdated in the European region, and they're still trying it, and you can see the immediate response. As soon as they see in the courtyard that the smokes are coming in, the players on the Polish side, they just push up aggressively and catch them before those smokes are even relevant.
Not only that, they're also making use of Sniper, which sees over those smokes. You get up that ladder into the high ground, and you're seeing over the smoke that's supposed to cut your line of sight off. And so, yeah, you're right. The Lounge, they know exactly what to do to deal with this push. Very aggressive play there from MICHU, and he knows that there's a couple other players here, and he just barely gets around the corner in time to stay alive. That sets it up for the 1-2 combination. mouz coming in. He picks up another 2 kills, and it's falling apart here for OpTic.
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see how they try to adjust here, as the last couple of players are going to be finished off. ShahZaM in a 1 versus 3. Very, very hard situation. He'd love to get some damage in here just by getting a couple kills, but there's a very, very low percentage here for him to actually claim the round. Does have some time to work with, but still, it's a very hard ask.
Yeah, and Innocent gets right up into Sniper as well, so they have the high ground, they have the low ground, they know exactly where this guy's playing from. ShahZaM not going to be able to find that headshot fast enough. You have to appreciate that Lounge are also trying to keep or change that pace. They don't want to be too predictable with their defensive setup, playing too passive. So this round they decide, let's go aggressive into alley, let's get a push, try and catch them setting up, and it works perfectly on OpTic.
I think you hit the nail on the head there. They're really getting ahead of OpTic's adjustments by just playing so dynamically. And as Anders mentioned here, the experience from Lounge and why they wanted to play Train, it's so abundantly clear in how things are going right now.
But it's been crazy because they've managed to survive some of these rounds on the CT side, just barely, right? Their economy is all the time very, very low. And finally, they seem to actually make a little bit more out of it. Great grenade from MICHU, and now comes the spray down. He gets the 1, but what a great return. Again, just pistols, and the NA team is really making this work. Innocent going to get the 1 of the smoke blooms, but NAF is still going to be dead, and now daps and Stanislaw left, and it's just going to be a 1-on-3 here. He gets a good kill, and again, so much damage being put out in a round where it really shouldn't be the case.
But they're making the difference in the end, Lounge. I mean, this is still a situation they should win. They have the man advantage. They've backed off to hold the lines, and they know where the bomb is. They should know that the bomb is right in front of the bomb train. So they know that Stanislaw is going to draw him like a magnet. He has to go and pick up that bomb at some point. So that does make his movement just a little bit predictable here. I believe SZPERO might have just spotted them there barely. They're playing it very safe. They don't want to peek. They don't want to give up this kill for free here, Lounge. But Stanislaw, he's perfectly capable of pulling this off. If he hits the headshot there, he spots the first man. Now he has the bomb. But there's the info. Lounge now know where he's playing from.
Yeah, the key thing, as you mentioned here, is that CSGL Lounge playing this super safe. They realize they don't want to give Stanislaw a 1 versus 1. That's how he wins this round, and he might be able to find that. That's what Stanislaw needs to do here with a sneaky position. He's going to find himself forward into SZPERO's orb. That's not going to work. Very nice patience there from SZPERO, waiting for Innocent to get into a position where, when he made the peak, at the very least, you know, there will be a trade from his teammate if he dies.
I mean, again, a close round, closer than it probably should have been, but it is a bit telling that every time we get into a close position, it seems to be, at least in the last 5 rounds, it's been Lounge that's been coming out on top. So I don't think they're feeling super confident right now, but they are actually winning this half right here. I don't think 4 rounds is going to be enough for OpTic. What do you think, Dan?
I definitely agree with you. I think you know, the experience from Lounge on the T side is going to be much more coordination. I think the strategy is going to be much more fresh, and something that OpTic won't be used to dealing with, which is key as well. They'll be out of their comfort zone. But here we see a bit of a mix-up from Lounge. They actually have 2 AWPs in play, 2 sniper rifles, so they're going to be really hitting these ranges. And also, this is not something they've shown OpTic before either. So again, it's another round where OpTic have to get the information, and they can't rely on what they've seen before.
Nice nade on it. ShahZaM, he saw it coming. He knew he couldn't go anywhere. Ouch, 50 damage taken to the face. But another thing that you guys have to mention is when you're constantly losing clutch rounds, that wears on you mentally. That gets more and more frustrating. It starts to get distracting. You need to keep your focus somehow. And if Lounge keep coming out ahead in the clutch, it's going to make OpTic just their job that much more difficult here. But already they're getting a little bit predictable. Lounge just chucking that HE. They're just saying to ShahZaM, we know that you like to play from here. We're going to keep punishing you unless you change up.
And that's the key role here in this round, is that ShahZaM needs to open the A site for his team to move in. It hasn't happened. They're going to force the issue now.
mouz almost getting caught sleeping then, but they do still pick up 2 kills. But there comes the return. OpTic picking up another 2, and now they've got the man advantage for the first time in a very long time. 35 seconds left. They are getting flanked, and SZPERO covering the wide angle of that bomb site. Oskarish making his way out of Pop dog here. That bomb is being planted, and this is where things get really tough on the CT side. There are just too many angles. Another triple kill for ShahZaM. He's been playing out of his mind for this first half. SZPERO lands the one shot, but there's almost no way that he should be winning this. He's not got a smoke. He's got a Molotov, so he can't even sort of try for the smoke defuse. Goes for a shot, but ShahZaM takes him down. Quad kill here. Very, very good performance from him.
Yeah, that round should never really have gone in OpTic's way. We saw that they were forced to do that. That was out of desperation, but you've got to give the credit to ShahZaM to be able to hit the shots, moving through the choke point. Very, very disadvantageous engagement for him, but he still made it work. And that's, Lounge need to tighten that up. That should definitely have been an easier defense for them. But that's another round for OpTic. They're on 5 now. It's going to give them a bit of breathing room into the next half. But here we go, a bit of a push on Ali from Lounge once again.
Again, it's that 1-2 combination. Exactly. Mouz is here to back. NAF is playing this very safely, though, and he ends up somehow getting that one-on-one duel. That wasn't supposed to happen. Mouz was just a second too late there to back his mate up, but he will find the kill in the end. That was key, because that was definitely a little bit of a mistake on timing there. They were supposed to go out together, so if you trade, you're guaranteed to get that follow-up kill and bring it back to a 4-on-4. Lounge just, wiping the sweat off their brow. That was a little bit too close for comfort.
And that does tell Lounge quite a bit about the setup of OpTic, because they spotted 2 players there on alley, so they sort of should have an idea of what's going on. But here comes the push onto B. This is going to be a very hard-hitting display from OpTic.
Yeah, Oskarish picking up the first kill there on Stanislaw, flashing his way through the smoke. He's very aggressive here, and he stops the bomb from being put down, continues the spray, and finished off by SZPERO as well. And now ShahZaM alone with 50 seconds in a 1-on-4, and there's almost no way you can possibly make it out here. A nice flick, but he still goes down to Innocent, and we end up with a 10-5 half here, favoring Lounge Gaming, the Polish team here. I think that's quite impressive. It's still a competitive game, 5 rounds on the T side. You can make it back, but this pistol round is going to be critical.
Yeah, especially considering we saw a lot of crazy situations at the start of the match. That wasn't a normal start. That was Lounge being on really low economy all the way. OpTic had a lot of advantages, but what they showed us here is that on their attacking side, on train, they just don't seem to have some of the routine and strategies that are clean enough to actually win the advantages. Every time they were in a spot where they were playing against just pistols, they lost too many men. The plays weren't designed to deal with that. So you can definitely see a bit of weakness there. This is Lounge's for the taking right here.
Yeah, if they win this round, they should get up to 13 rounds, and then that's far too close to comfort, because again, to remind you, it's the first to 16 rounds that wins this map. So Lounge, they're poised to take this, and we'll see what they have in store for us here for their T-side pistol. They are on the offense now. It's OpTic Gaming switching over to the defense. And we'll see. Lounge, we've been talking about their polish. We've been talking about how they should be the superior team in this situation. We have to see if they can deliver that now in this first round of the half.
Yeah, and if you look at the setup here from OpTic now on the CT side, these USPS pistols are so much better at range than the Glock is, so that's why they're holding so far back. They want these fights where they can sort of just tap away one click at a time, and the Glocks are going to be just a bit inferior, so I like the setup right here.
We will see the smoke's actually obscuring the A-bomb site as we get a bit of a split, and this is really smart by Lounge. There's a lot of points of failure here, but they hit their shots, they should really be able to get the bomb down on either bomb site. They're looking for an opportunistic play, and they're going to find that towards the B site as we get these engagements. And there's a 3 versus 3 here now with the bomb being planted on B.
That headshot. That shot, that made the difference right there. If he got out of that SZPERO, and then Innocent just goes straight up the ladder, how does Stanislaw not get the punish in there? How does he not get him down, basically? Now it is OpTic. They've got the man advantage. They have a kit on NAF-FLY, so that shaves 5 seconds off that defuse time. Innocent trying to keep them off of it. Looking for that headshot. He's not going to find the shot. Instead, it's Oskarish who's going to get picked off by NAF. And Innocent with only 5 HP left. This is just impossible. OpTic, they should be picking up this pistol. Stanislaw will take him out, and that is it. NAF with the defuse, and OpTic, narrow win here on the pistol.
That was a huge save right there. That was a huge save.
That was chaos, though.
Oh, yeah, and even right at the end there, we had the flank coming in. So despite being down a man, Lounge actually had a really good situation because they were forcing the CTs to move onto that bomb site. That was really hard for OpTic, but they pulled it through. And now Lounge getting the bomb down, they can actually bring AKs into the next round, and that's kind of what they're thinking about right now. So Lounge don't really care about this round. They'll try to get some damage done, but it's all about the next round. That's where OpTic are going to have a lot of trouble.
I think that they executed that round just a little bit too quick, Lounge, because to me it seems like a double bluff, or at least what should have happened was a double bluff. Get them to rotate to the A site, then get them to rotate back to the B site, panic. I mean, it just felt like it was a little bit too rushed there.
Pretty greedy, I'd say, as well.
Just a little bit too rushed. They really could have pulled that off perfectly had they just been a little bit more patient. 5 seconds, given 5 seconds.
I do love this, that they've only got the one SMG. You get a lot of money for killing people with SMGs, but also not as good against armor, though there isn't any. So daps might be very effective here. He's going to take down oskarish, and now mouz is going to return quick with a good headshot and a second one as well. mouz is on fire right now, but he finally goes down, and Rush comes back into it with a double kill, and that's going to be the end of the round here. But still, 2 kills and a bomb plant is a huge success here for the Polish side.
Oh yeah, and in this kind of situation, we're going to see Lounge being able to pick up all the AKs and a lot of grenades, but actually playing a pretty fast round into the A-bomb site is going to be a really positive play for them, because the AKs are going to perform so much better than the rifles and the weaponry that OpTic will have. And OpTic might not even have necessarily the utility grenades to try to slow them down, so Lounge have a very big advantage here.
And when we're seeing that OpTic are still relying on outdated strats, like the A execute, the big A execute, etc., Lounge might try and throw something new at them here from the meta in Europe, where it's just get out there quick, put the pressure on, and make them use the utility. Although there is a decent nade count here for OpTic Gaming, they stay on Tomasa so that they can get the incendiaries out to buy more time. SZPERO looking to find a peek out here onto the A site. Everybody here from Lounge, and this is where they apply the pressure. They need to find the kills though, and it's Rush to start things off. He's removed mouz.
He's also trapped in this corner, so he's going to have to fight his way out. They're trying to put some grenades in. ShahZaM helping out, but he goes down to MICHU. Rush picking up a second. He's still got 4 bullets left. Can he do this? He has the headshot, and that's a 3rd kill. Great defense being put up by Rush here, and now MICHU all alone. He's trapped. He's sandwiched in a triangle here, and MICHU fires the shot, hits the headshot on Rush, but still he's not in a good position. He does have the bomb, and he's got the time. If they let him escape right now, things can get a bit weird, but NAF is going to be able to take him down, and I think that round you've got to give it to Rush. Once he gets the first kill, there's a good chance he's just going to get traded.
But he stays alive. That's the key point. That slows everything down for Lounge. It means that they can't just rush out onto the site the way that they had planned, the way they want to. They have to deal with this guy who's in the back line.
And you got to sort of as well, just got to highlight how tempting it is to reload your rifle when you have 4 bullets left, and if you reload and they push, you're gone. So yeah, a bit of restraint there as well.
I got a question. Lounge going so heavy on the smokes there as well, because they completely cut off their long range vision, so they removed their own advantages in that round. So pretty interesting stuff now. OpTic closing the gap to 8 to 10 now, but some frags coming in now.
A little bit too close for comfort there. Yeah. You would think that mouz would have been able to get in there and get that kill a little bit faster. But still, the bonus 600 bucks going in his pocket. Stanislaw managing to pick off SZPERO, who pushes out from A main. And now you're going to have 3 players left alive here for Lounge Gaming, and they're kind of spread out. They're looking to see if they can't catch somebody out of position. They've already worked their way down down into Pop Dog, down the ladder, so they have an angle to work with there. Don't challenge the Deagle. Don't peek against it, please.
Again, the Desert Eagle that you're seeing here is a one-shot headshot at long range, at any range, and Stanislaw's gone down to just one of those headshots, so you've got to be very, very careful. If you keep fighting, they might as well wait. I mean, the terrorist team still has to put the bomb down, so they don't really need to challenge this too much. MICHU, they almost line up for him, and Rush is going to pick it up, and both Innocent and mouz kind of low on health right now, and they're also slowly running out of time. So OpTic, again, there's no reason for them to panic right now, although they're moving around a lot, which is, I think, a bad sign. They should just stay put. Boost coming up here, and mouz is going to be down.
Real clever there, that boost. Safe way. It's an off angle. It's not a common angle to peek from, so you're not going to be pre-aiming that spot. When you say pre-aiming, it's putting your cursor, in that position to be able to just click your button, hit that shot really quickly. So now it's coming down to Innocent as to whether he can actually find the bomb plant. Down to 6 HP. NAF is so close. They have an incendiary on Rush, but he just wants to get in here, get the kill done with the rifle instead. So success as far as Lounge are concerned. Still, they get a bomb plant, so they get that bonus money that I mentioned earlier. But OpTic right now, they're getting the momentum. They're the ones who are going to have the confidence going into this next round.
So one thing now that Lounge could do, even though I said previously I didn't like that they smoked so hard on the A yard, they could actually set up a fake now, because once you've shown such a coverage, such an obscurity, where the CTs have to play forward positions to get the information, it allows you to actually fake into the other bomb side. So that might be an option for Lounge, but they have picked up an AWP here, so they're probably looking at a slow round, looking for SZPERO, who is a very, very strong AWP player, to try to pick up an opening advantage, then play the 5 versus 4 situation.
NAF going aggressive in alley as well at the start there, trying to see if he couldn't catch Lounge setting up early on in the round. That's not going to work. Instead, it's SZPERO taking up ShahZaM's position over in A main. He managed to at least spot out a man, get a little bit of information on the defensive setup here. But Lounge, this whole setup initially for them is just designed for those kinds of 1v1 peaks. Take that pick, see if you can't find somebody out of position on the CT side on the defense to create an opportunity to get out onto a site.
And so far, they haven't been able to find very much. We're seeing a very defensive setup from OpTic Gaming. They're deciding to play quite far back. Some teams like to play players much closer to the choke points. It allows, as mentioned previously, you to get a little bit more information as to how the T's are moving, but there is that inherent risk as well that these picking situations can be a little bit easier for the T side. And we saw this happening to OpTic when they were playing the T side. Eventually, if nothing's happening, you have to then just go for it with the nades that you have. That's what OpTic are forcing from Lounge right now. Lounge have to go with the play.
They have no nades, OpTic. They do have a couple of incendiaries to work with, but that is it. As far as the flashes are concerned, they're very light. daps turns away at the last second, and mouz gets the kill for free, but ShahZaM is there with the AWP to lock him down. SZPERO comes back on his own, though, and now it's a man advantage here for Lounge, a two-man advantage. They're crushing OpTic out of this round.
Wow, Innocent with a good spree there. Stanislaw, but he goes down to SZPERO, and that's going to be the round now. Lounge gaming up to 11 in total, and honestly, a lot of that round was decided by a chance shot that ShahZaM puts through the smoke on the sidewalk in the B-bomb site. It leg shots mouz, who comes through the smoke. He survives and takes down the player playing B. If ShahZaM hits a body shot instead, the guy dies, and the round probably is won by OpTic instead. So, yeah, leg shot instead of body shot. Big difference if you're playing with the AWP.
And we might see a much faster pace here. Lounge are trying to really throw OpTic off. Is it going to be good though? The smokes are going down, and ShahZaM does get a good defensive kill. This will really hurt Lounge's ability to get the bomb planted down.
NAF as well, he's holding that back line. MICHU is gone. Innocent is there to take out Stanislaw though. And Rush, this time on the side of the smoke, he will get the kill. And it's just going back towards the North American team at this point. Innocent, he will get the flank. So it's a 1v2, but he's down to half HP. So he doesn't have a whole lot of health to work with. He has a single flash. He could really use a smoke right now to cut off an angle. It is still up in connector, so he could take advantage of that, but he's deciding to try and throw them for a loop here. He wants to back off and start to make OpTic Gaming second guess themselves. Is he going to be A? Is he going to be B? He wants to just start making them guess.
Yeah, this takes a lot of smarts, a lot of guts. You can't second guess yourself in the position Innocent is in. This is, there's only a very few amount of players that are very, very perfect and clinical in these kinds of spots because they're so hard to play. Let's see if Innocent can make the smart play. He's going to go higher here in NAF.
I mean, obviously they can't see the outline that we can see, and he gets the opening frag there. Headshot on NAF, and now it's a triple kill for Innocent here in a one-on-one. He's going to have to go for the quad kill clutch, and daps is on the sidewalk. Innocent going to go for the peek. He sprays with the AK, not quite going to connect. He's low on health as well. daps has a bit of an advantage, but no head armor either. He's got to be careful. He walks right into him, but daps comes out on top. One kill in the round is what he got, daps, but it was a huge impact frag. And that's going to win the round. It's going to put the score at 10-11, just barely favoring Lounge Gaming. But that was close to being a 1-on-3 victory there for the Polish side.
And one thing as well about Lounge there is that they strategically, I think, made quite a good call because OpTic have been showing that they want to play quite far back on the defense. And one of the counters to very fast plays, as they showed there, is teams that want to play close setups to the choke points because you're in front of the smokes that the Ts will throw. So Lounge did a good response, but OpTic are just hitting the shots right now. They're playing well with their backs against the wall.
It's got to be a little frustrating for Lounge considering they were winning the clutch rounds in the first half. Now it's OpTic that are managing to come through in the clutch. Those are the kinds of rounds that will make the difference. And this time, again, SZPERO not able to land that shot. He was desperately hoping to get that first pick to start things off here for Lounge. That would have been perfect. It would have completely shattered OpTic Gaming's economy. They wouldn't have been able to afford a thing in the next round.
Yeah, and you got to appreciate Rush sort of using the ladder to get a little bit more speed to actually make that cross, so he's harder to hit. Definitely like that. Smart sort of use of the game mechanics. And now, bomb is all the way back. This is just Lounge Gaming all looking for a way to open the round. They want that one kill so they can sort of develop a strategy behind that.
And another really slow play from Lounge. Again, Lounge showing that they're mixing up the pace a huge amount here to always keep OpTic guessing. But on a map like Train, as a TP side, you don't have to play for information. You don't have to take too many risks because of the nature of the setup. But here it is, the execute onto the A-bomb site. The smokes are down. And they're looking to get the bomb planted and all players into position. And here is a response from OpTic. They've got everybody behind these smokes right now.
Yeah, this is very scary. Oskar, she's all alone, but now there's 4 of them here. Full flash, but Lounge, they're all in position now to take advantage of these smokes. Rush puts a shot through the smoke. He gets lucky and takes out oskarish. But that bomb has now been planted, so the clock is ticking for OpTic. Stanislaw pushes forward. He takes out MICHU on the flank. And this is all going back towards OpTic. They've got that man advantage. They've got the angles. Stanislaw's up close, but he's got to get flanked by SZPERO somehow.
No, Rush here, he picks up a kill, and there's the second one from NAF, and they are just going to have enough time for the defuse here. Triple kill from Rush, who's on the camera. That was a very nice retake, and one of the reasons why it could have gone horribly wrong is they had no grenades left. They had no smokes to block out where the terrorists were coming from. They had almost nothing to try and get that retake home with. So very impressive and a huge round that's going to tie the score. Now 11-11, and again, first team to 16 is going to run away with the first map.
Yeah, again, for me, I feel like Lounge are strategically making good choices, but again, as you guys are talking about, it really comes down to just hitting these shots, being clutch in these situations. We're consistently seeing some clutch plays from the lots of players on OpTic, daps, ShahZaM, Rush. It's all adding up right now, and they're looking like they could take the lead. Lounge are going to go for a B rush with inferior weapons. Can they make it happen? Daps is the only guy there in the front lines.
So with that P90, exactly. He's just going to mow them down. They can't do anything. He actually runs out of bullets with the P90. He's got 50 of them, and MICHU's going to be able to get 2 kills out of that situation. So on a pretty much hard eco here, Lounge actually managed to do some economic damage to OpTic, but yeah, up close with the P90, that's the best place to be. Just hold down mouse 1, rack up some frags.
And they had no armor as well, so that does so much damage.
Yeah.
Now they're going to try and get into it here. A lot of smokes, a lot of AKs down as well. I mean, you're talking about the pace. Is it time to switch to something a little bit faster?
Well, this is the hard call for them because they've been making good plays, but it hasn't been working. So when you've been making the right decisions again and again, it can get become disencouraged as to what you should actually do because you lose track of what's actually working, which so far has not really been all that much. So Lounge, they're sticking with a slower opening here. You can see Innocent by T-Main in the middle of the map with the bomb. So Lounge looking to get some early pressure on, but where they finish this round is really up to their call. We got Innocent now with that bomb. Usually that can be a good indicator as to what the team is going to try to hit objective-wise.
They're just looking to exactly for this right there. There's the push into alley. They want that bomb in the middle to be able to go B side or A side at the drop of a hat. If they get a frag on A side, they move to A side. If they get a kill on B, that's where they go. So Lounge, they're poised to just be able to move quickly around this map. Stanislaw, though, he's in a great spot. To counter this kind of play, to try and suss out where Lounge Gaming want to go, he's going to get up real close to them and try and listen and hear the footsteps. That'll give a lot of information here as to what Lounge Gaming are up to.
Oh, no way. Is he going to hear the grenades? If he actually pushes out, this is a fake to the A-bomb side. All of these grenades indicate that it's going to be an A push. And Stanislaw, he should be able to hear them. He gets the opening kill there on MICHU, but NAF-FLY's also gone down. And now you got to wonder, about 30 seconds left, and they push into the B-bomb side. Daps still hiding, but he's not going to be able to turn around in time, and mouz will take him down. And now they're in a really good position here. The Polish team, they might actually be able to bring this one home, and that would be a really, really big round for them. That hindered the economy of OpTic as well. Bomb is down. ShahZaM opening up with a shot with the AWP, and now mouz is gone as they push up. Rush is coming in. He's the top fragger. Second shot for ShahZaM, and Rush, he does go down, but ShahZaM is still alive. 2-on-1 now. SZPERO gonna get dropped. Stanislaw picking up a double kill. Triple in total in the round, and OpTic make it 13-11. What a big retake there.
Yeah, the back and forth here are ridiculous, because every time you thought, okay, OpTic's in a good position here. Stanislaw, amazing position. As Sam was pointing out, that was a really sick position. He had all the information, although actually it turned out that he still was slow to actually realize that it was a fake. Yeah. So they were actually put out of position. Then Lounge take the advantage, getting the bomb planted. The CTs have to move in to get to that bomb site. Lounge are all set up. But again, OpTic, today what they're showing us is they're a little bit more clutch, and that's what it all comes down to.
I mean, we have to be impressed with how ShahZaM has come to the forefront here for his team. He's the one who's stepping up. He's getting the key frags. Again, he gets the key frag in that one right there. The first kill, because the T side, if you're going onto that B site, you want to push forward aggressively towards connector, towards where the CTs, the defense, are going to be coming through from the A site. You want to just take the fight to them right on. Don't let them bottle you onto the site, because if you get bottled on that site, they're going to start picking you apart like we just saw right there.
And what we have now is a tactical timeout. So each team is allowed to take one of these per map, per half actually, and that's obviously very important. So historically speaking, we've seen this a lot, where you take the tactical timeout, you think about what you're doing, you get a little bit of chance to cool down, and then teams actually tend to turn it around. They come back in and they end up doing a lot better. So I'm curious what Lounge Gaming have got in store for us right here. I mean, that was a great fake, but it ended up not working out anyway.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I would like to just see them sticking to basics, especially if you are having a hard time getting the rounds out. Even if you are making a good calls, just stick to some of the more basic plays. We're seeing them here with a lack of grenades, so it's going to be hard for them to really throw any fakes in there. A bit of a push here on Annie from NAF-FLY, actually, and he's going to beast MICHU there, and that's a really big loss, and that's some good information for OpTic as well. They can have, again, more idea of how the setup looks like for Lounge. They're playing still very defensively. And just waiting. Even
worse is that Lounge don't even know if NAF-FLY is still there, so they don't know if any sort of tactical move they make right now is already being read. And NAF is holding here, so the kill is important, but the information that he's continuing to give to his team right now, that's winning the round. And he gets another headshot on SZPERO. Oh no, this is a horrible way right after the tactical timeout.
Yeah, that's the issue. SZPERO has to worry about NAF being pushed out in alley like that. It's the worst case scenario for Lounge Gaming. The fact that he just walks into that kill, that's going to shatter Lounge here. They were hoping to break the momentum for OpTic with that timeout, slow things down a little bit, and let OpTic settle. But now OpTic, they've got control of the situation. ShahZaM's going to take out Oskar as he tries to push out into the B site. The bomb will get planted, however, but then a great shot by SZPERO. Takes out Innocent, and it's going to be down to mouz now. 1v4, he cancels the Molotov. That's not going to help him. They know exactly where he is, and Stanislaw is going to pick up the last kill of the round. This is putting OpTic Gaming in a terrific spot to take this first map in the best of 3.
Yeah, and again, you know, looking for opportunities early into the round or Lounge, but when NAF makes a play like that and you go up 5 versus 4 as the CTs, this is a map as well where it's very hard to, as the T side, to really force rotations out of the CTs. So if they go up a man, they can just sit still. They don't even need information. That's usually such a brilliant position to be in as the CTs because you don't have to move out of position to take risks. You can just stay in some good setups that you've rehearsed with your teammates. And that's what they got to play with in that round. It was just open and closed right there and then.
Well, 14-11 is the current scoreline. It looks like it's going to be a bit faster this time around. They go for the smoke execute towards the A bomb side. The bomb, though, is making its way up the hallways, so are they actually going to try and push for it here? They are being a little bit slow behind the execute. NAF holding all the way back by Ivy and looking for an opening. It's a quick trade early on as we're now into a 4-on-4, and the terrorist team pushes on. ShahZaM picking up the one shot here, not realizing there's a guy right behind him. He ends up going down. MICHU hitting a shot on Rush as well, and mouz is going to be dropping NAF. It's now all up to daps in a 1-on-3. So much time left, and that bomb is not planted yet. daps looking the wrong way at the wrong time, and now he's sort of isolated in this corner. They know exactly where he is. They got 3 people aimed on that one corner.
Frankly, I would like to see him take this fight. He wants one more kill here. He wants one more kill. He needs 2 players to survive on Lounge side. That means that somebody's going to have to force, going to have to spend all of their money, and it means that they could be light on nades. It means there's just a little bit of an edge for OpTic going into the next round. If we can find one more kill, that would be great, but it's not going to be possible. Innocent from the back line is going to pick him off with that AWP. And it's going to be 2 rounds separating these teams. Perfect first map here to start things off already. It's looking pretty close. I like it.
And it's good as well because there, what we see from Lounge is that they're not playing scared, because that can be a problem as well. If you're going through all these spots, again mentioned before, you're losing all the clutches. You can start to feel like you don't want to take a fight that normally you should take, and that's what your job is on the team to do. And we saw MICHU coming out really huge there in the entry, and that's what they should be doing more of. That's how they're going to win this train match.
And I mean, look at it. OpTic, even though they've won a couple of rounds in a row, 1 loss, and they're back to pistols. They can't afford rifles because they've only sort of barely won the rounds. They haven't been able to build up much of an economy, and that makes a really big difference. Yes, Lounge have a good shot at bringing this back to a tied scoreline if they just played this round correctly. Innocent taking a lot of damage, though, and they've got to be just a bit careful. There's a big stack going on at the B-bomb site, but daps ends up going down. That was mouz, and also oskarish just holding on. Stan is coming in from the back lines here, and he's been spotted out. Heads-up play from Lounge side.
He doesn't spot that bomb, though. So again, OpTic, they're just going to stay put. Rush has still got this scout, and if he just keeps tagging up players, I mean, SZPERO's at 39, 38 for mouz, it makes it easier to pick up the kills with the pistols. The pistols do less damage than the rifles, and so this scout is perfect right now for OpTic. If he can just stay alive and keep landing shots, OpTic have a real chance of bringing this back. And if they were to win this round, it would completely shatter Lounge Gaming. It would just give them the first map.
They are playing this very, very slowly and very carefully. But I'm glad right now that they're grouping together, because if you split up, that's a really good situation for the CT side with the pistols. But looks like now Lounge, they're grouping up. They're going to go for the B site hit. There's 2 players there for OpTic to try to do some damage. Sanis is rotating as well. How much damage can be done here by OpTic, though?
ShahZaM close range, that's a 1-shot. He drops her immediately. Oskarish NAF-FLY picking up 1 and a headshot on Innocent as well. They might just turn it around here. 20 seconds left. So now Lounge have got to move quick. The bomb is down in the bomb site. They might actually run out of time. The other player is miles away. MICHU coming up from behind and sprays down Rush, and now NAF alone. 1-on-2. He's down on the hole. We're not going to be able to survive. 10 seconds on the clock, and SZPERO, he drops him with the AWP. That was way too close there for the CT or for the terrorist side. That could have been horrible.
I'm usually quite the advocate of playing in set plays with grenades, trying to execute onto bomb sites, playing fast, playing together in rounds like that. We saw the opposite from Lounge, and we can see how that can actually go a little bit wrong. Running out of time is a real big issue, but they still pulled it through. 13-14, both teams on the edge right now.
Well, could this be nerves coming into play as well? We have to mention that Lounge Gaming, they're one of the youngest pro teams in the scene right now. So they're on the big stage, and they might just be making a few mistakes here as they try and close this map out versus OpTic, who have just a little bit more experience. So light on nades, though, OpTic, and that's always the thing we have to point out. On the CT side, on the defense, you need those nades to block off those choke points, to run time off of this clock. We saw how close it got in the last round. When it gets down to 10 seconds, all the pressure is on Lounge. But Lounge are doing a good job of putting some shots through, making OpTic spend those nades.
That's a good shot from daps from us there. Not usually doing too much damage, but oskarish already pretty low on health here. Looks like they are still just keeping the bomb up in the hallways, so a bit of a hold position for them, just looking for a way to find an opening frag, and they do need one.
Yeah, that's initial defense from daps there is incredibly key. If he actually dies, the round is probably over for OpTic, so it's very important that he was able to just force those T's back.
I think it's another fake, isn't it?
I think so too. I think they want to hit that B site real quick here, Lounge. Because they've had success on it so far. I mean, they are managing to get the wins here on the B site. A site hasn't gone so smooth for them, but they are going to try and put MICHU out. MICHU's usually the faker. He's the guy that they kind of throw, into the line of fire, like, go, distract, draw attention to yourself. Well, ShahZaM takes him out, so he's not going to be able to do too much of that.
Yeah, he was up on the sniper nest. He was looking over the smokes out there, and, well, the bomb is still very far back. daps going to win the fight against oskarish, and now it's down to 5-on-3 with 15 seconds left. Stanislaw going to go down to mouz. NAF in the back lines. Excellent headshot. Dropping SZPERO. mouz taking out one more player. He's on fire for this match, and Rush is going to be finally dropping mouz, and now it's all on Innocent. He sprays down one. He's in a 1-on-2 still, and he can't connect with the shot. daps coming up with a double kill, and OpTic, in spite of the fact that they ended up in a 5 versus 3 to begin with, they still only survive with 2 members, but they're now getting very close to a victory here on Train. It's 15-13, and it's map point for OpTic.
I am actually really starting to wonder when we're seeing some of these sort of individual plays that the nerves argument might be a very, very real deal right now.
I mean, what they were doing in this round, because they put down the smokes and they waited, and usually if you put down the smokes and wait, that means you're actually faking the B-bomb site, so they were sort of double faking by waiting and then actually going A anyway. Sort of a slightly elaborate play coming out from the Polish side, and maybe even too elaborate for themselves.
Well, the last time we saw them go for something like a double fake like that, it didn't pan out for them. They were just off on the timing. It looked a little discombobulated, and we see that again here. Again, when you're so close, it's fine at the beginning of the half, right? There's so little pressure on you. You're just trying to get the job done. But at the end, when it's all or nothing, it's these are the last rounds that are going to sort out who gets this first map, and a huge advantage going into the rest of this best of 3. I mean, they're definitely going to be feeling that weight on their shoulders. So Lounge, again, they go back to their default setup, spread out across this map, looking to see if they can find somebody out of position here on OpTic's side. But OpTic are playing this very safely. They don't go for anything aggressive in this round. They're just going to sit and wait for Lounge to come to them.
But it makes sense as well. We're going to see a B play from Lounge, and they have 2 players on pistols, and what you need on a push to the B bomb site is 1 or 2 guys that can actually push very, very aggressively up to the more forward choke points, where the CTs will be rotating from the A site to the B site retake. So that could actually work out quite well for Lounge. Here come the nades, here comes the coordination. OpTic going to throw in the counter grenades, and that might slow them down enough for OpTic to get into position here.
Look at daps. He's very much alone. Backup is finally arriving, but can they get that bomb plant down on the terrorist side? If they don't win this round, that's it. Train is done. ShahZaM opening up with a kill on Innocent, and he's looking for a bit more here. Gonna hit his shot right through the side of the Train. SZPERO still staying alive, and he's gotta get more kills, but he gets shot trying to retreat, and that's gonna be the round. ShahZaM picking up a triple kill, and OpTic finishing Train with 16-13.
That was way too slow from Lounge there. They had, I think, a really strong play, but they just executed way too slow, and they gave so much of the B yard to their opponents. I'm pretty impressed by OpTic, actually. They look like they have a pretty strong side here.
I mean, Rush and ShahZaM just turned up in this game, and I mean, I think we all sort of introduced ShahZaM as saying he's got the potential to do that, and Rush coming out as well. I think that's what put them over the top here.
That's pretty much it. And also, one of the concerns that we had going into this match is, who's going to be the standout player for Lounge Gaming. Across the board, we'd say that they're more consistent than OpTic, but they didn't really have anybody hitting those big shots, apart from mouz. mouz actually did stand up here in the first map, in the first half in particular.
It's one of those teams as well where you want SZPERO to be able to be in good positions, but this is actually one of the maps where it's a little bit harder on the T side, especially with the sniper rifle, to get as much done. So very interesting start to the series.
Yeah, I mean, plus his direct counterpart there in ShahZaM was just so much on fire, so I can't believe it. Well, we're going to break it all down over at the analyst desk, so please, James, take it away for us.
Well, we've had quite the upset there, considering the veto process. This map was the pick of Lounge, and we spoke about nerves, and now we can speak about momentum, because OpTic have taken the pick of Lounge, and now they move into their own pick, which we'll get to after the break. But we can go into this match. OpTic won both the pistol rounds, which is going to be really good as well. So maybe we can talk a bit about how the early parts of this match went.
I mean, if you lose the CT pistol on this map and you can get to 10 rounds, you did a phenomenal job. So actually, first half, very impressive stuff by Lounge. You can see this is one of their home maps. But the difference was when you swapped over to the other side, I felt like they were way too hesitant every time they got like bomb plants down. They were really slow to get into sites. Like, for example, the worst player on the side of OpTic is daps. It's quite well known he's not a very skilled player. So the lounge guys attacked his site, the inner site, over and over again. And then they'd get a bomb plant down, but they took so long to get into the site. The full rotation was there by the CTs. And even worse, every time they planted, they repeatedly peeked out from the bomb trend and gave ShahZaM easy shots onto them. So they gifted him a lot of his kills when he was on CT side there.
I mean, that was the irony. They were more aggressive on the defensive side at times than they were actually on the offensive side. They were really slow with their plans. They really didn't capitalize when they had those openings, and that's a little bit disappointing for them.
So I believe you've picked out some replays that we're going to look at now, and you're going to talk us through them.
Yeah, obviously these are just a few little things. So what I want to talk about was the CSGO Lounge aggression. You can see here, MICHU pushes into Ali. You're not technically supposed to do this, but I like the way that he did. He gets a kill, and then he reacts. And then here is the second clip, where oskarish pushed through a smoke to stop the plant at 9-5 to make it vital, and that kills the whole round. Stone Dead puts ShahZaM into this 1v4, and then he gets killed. And that's what I'm talking about there. What they did was they played super aggressive on the CT side, always pushing through smokes, but they didn't do that on the terrorist side, which is absurd. I mean, they did enough in that first half at 10-5 to take this map. They're going to be really disappointed. Meanwhile, of course, OpTic looking great. ShahZaM's a human highlight reel. Who knew?
Yeah, we saw some nice information plays on the CT side as well from OpTic. You saw they had a player in the pop dog area where the ladder is that leads up to the terrorist area, going towards the B bomb site, where you saw fast flanks from them, and they shut down the T side in some important rounds. There were some rounds where Lounge was starting to have a good comeback. They put the CT side on eco, where they only had pistols to try and defend with. They almost lost the round, only surviving with 2 players. So it was definitely down to the wire there for both teams.
And just to bring Duncan in on this, I was super surprised by mouz's performance. I mean, I didn't know a lot about this guy, but he mixed it up amazingly on there and really was sort of dragging Lounge through some of the difficult rounds, and the reason why it was so close.
Yeah, he was the only real standout for Lounge. The thing with Lounge was, it's kind of like I said it before, they have the even spread of players. Their players, none of them are exceptional, they're all just pretty good across the board, whereas over on OpTic, it's more like, where the best players are going to be. Like, it's going to be Rush, it's going to be ShahZaM, but on the other end, daps isn't going to put a lot of kills in, he's the in-game leader, so it's more of a spread over there. And in this particular game, yeah, unfortunately, it was like a good spread for the team on the polls in that particular sense, but I really did feel like they struggled on their T side because they were so hesitant. Like, one thing they never did, to touch on what James said, is they never did it where, when they were deciding between whether to go outer or inner, they never just put a man themselves into the pop dog room. If you do that, then you can never have to worry about the CT flanking you there. But they never did that. If they were going to go outside, they just had people waiting in the normal T mid, or they just went inside. They were very hesitant in their setup, whereas even though the guys from OpTic were in theory worse on their T side to some degree, they had a proper setup initially. So at least it was harder to figure out where they were coming from. So I do feel like Lounge played well. There was just key rounds obviously went the other way from frags for OpTic, but you can't be happy when you lose your map in that sense, knowing that the next map coming up is not one you're strong on.
Yeah.
Before we break down the second map, we're going to go to a very fast break, but it's going to also include some messages from Asus, who have happily provided us with some very strong high-performance equipment here. So we will see you very shortly after a few messages. Okay, and welcome back here to CES at Las Vegas. It's the finale of the E-League Road to Vegas, where one of these teams will be making it into the $1.2 million first season of E-League here in 2016. So our second map is going to be Cobblestone. Again, OpTic won the pick of their opponents. Now they're going into their own pick, Cobblestone. Thorin, how do you see this going?
Yeah, unfortunately, this could now be a 2-0. When I said I was picking Lounge to win, that's because the assumption was they'd get Train and then Mirage with the decider. This is actually one of the most one-sided maps that we could have between these two teams, because it's absolutely one of the worst maps for the guys from Lounge Gaming. Meanwhile, it's one of the best maps of OpTic. This is the map that actually they were able to upset Team Liquid on, able to beat Dignitas on. So this is a very strong map for them. And actually, even historically, you go back beyond Lounge Gaming when they used to be Gamers 2, they used to lose this map routinely. So they're going to have to really go above and beyond what we've ever seen from them on this map if they want to get to a third.
Yeah, and just to contextualize it, the Team Liquid team that this OpTic lineup beat was the team that beat Fnatic, who were like the gods of Cobblestone. So, I mean, they are very accomplished on this map. Meanwhile, Lounge, you know, they probably don't want to play this. If there was any way they could have made this the map that was going to get removed in the veto, if there was a bit more wiggle room, you know, because they always ban Inferno, that's what they would have done. But there isn't. They're here. They've got to face OpTic on it, and they're fighting for their tournament lives right here. This is their big shot at E-League. They're under tremendous pressure going on to Cobble.
Looking at the style and the difference in North American culture and players and teams, you can see the OpTic players were screaming and hyping themselves up after winning the first map. Do you think momentum's going to play a strong part in this for them coming into the second map?
Like Duncan, I've always thought that momentum's kind of almost like a lazy analyst's tool. It's an ephemeral quality. We don't really know how to sort of quantify it. So whenever you talk about momentum, yeah, if you're winning rounds, the way the in-game economy works, it's easier to keep winning rounds, you know? And there is a psychological element to it. But I think what's important is that every pro, every high-level team, between maps, there's a reset button, and they just press it, and I think what's gone before isn't going to matter in this. So the idea of a momentum, they're both starting with a blank slate coming into this, and I think that's where they'll be at the level. I just think OpTic have got that edge because this is their map.
The chance, if you're looking at the Lounge side, saying can we get to 3 maps, is, like I said, in terms of man for man, they have more skill. They have a better skill spread on their team. So in theory, it's easier for them to get frags against the OpTic guys, where the OpTic guys really do rely on a couple of guys. You saw ShahZaM in that game. Rush, obviously, is one of the better players. So if you have a slight underperformance from any of those guys from OpTic, skill-wise, certainly the Poles can frag with them. Their problem is, like I said, historically, this is a map that they want to get out of here. They don't want this map in the pool, and I actually thought this would be their ban. I thought it was actually kind of risky for them to go the other way. So I actually think in this scenario, only fragging is going to get them back into this game.
Yeah, that's the thing. I don't think they can necessarily go head-to-head with ShahZaM, the form he's in at the moment on this map. I think they need to utilize some of that CT aggression I highlighted on the previous map on Train. I think they need to start pushing into strange parts of the map, maybe catch OpTic off guard with some of the executes they're going to look to do, that slow delivery system, when they're playing on that CT side. But again, I think this is all uphill for the Polish guys. I really think this is now a very, very tall order indeed.
One of the most important elements of Counter-Strike will be the economy, and you will have seen the economy broken there for the CT side multiple times. Cobble is a map where it's very hard to defend because it's very hard to retain map control because of the way the map is designed and how you have to manage your personnel. We saw OpTic won both pistol rounds in the previous map. That's going to be obviously very important for your overall score. How important is it on this map? Is it more important for the CTs? Like if their economy is ruined and they struggle to put rounds together and the T rounds start to rack up, how much of an issue is that going to be?
I do think on this map, like you can do a lot of stuff on ecos, so I think it's not that big a deal.
All right, well, we're going to move to the casters now as the game has started.
Well, it looks like we are live, ladies and gentlemen, with the second map. We're going to be getting into it. Lounge Gaming versus OpTic Gaming. OpTic Gaming currently up 1-0 in this best of 3, and they will be starting on the T side on the offense once again. So we see them spreading out across this map. This is a very even map. We expect these teams to kind of meet in the middle as far as the rounds are concerned, 9-6, 8-7, something along those lines. So we'll see if OpTic can get that strong start. But they go for a great A split through drop, through connectors, straight onto this A site, and it's all going to come down to the last man alive here. SZPERO needs to find a headshot.
Wow, this is going to be really tricky. He's zoned out as well, looking for the fight. Him and Innocent do pick up a kill each, and NAF and Rush are going down. So bomb planted, 3-on-3, great grenade, but Innocent gets shot down with the Glock, and now they have the man advantage, and there's no kit currently picked up. SZPERO, he's sneaking up from behind. He needs a quick kill here. Now his position's been known, and they both get shot down. Simultaneous headshots here, and OpTic winning the first map, coming into the second one, and starting off with a good round here at the beginning.
Uh-oh, this is not a good premonition right now for
You worried, Dan?
I'm really worried because this map as well, OpTic Gaming, even if you're not really comfortable with this map and they have chosen it, the B split as the defending side is so hard to stop if it's well coordinated. Lounge are going to have to show real class to actually, and ingenuity to actually be able to stop that, considering OpTic are going to have way better economy to start things. So Lounge are just going to be just scraping by for quite some time, and they've opted to go for a force buy. They spend all their cash here to try and get out what they can, which is just some okay pistols and some armor. So they're going to be looking for some sneaky frags, but OpTic, if they've got a good setup, they know where to place their grenades, they should be able to deal with this quite well.
Already appreciating what we're seeing out of OpTic, though. That was a clever tailor-made strat there, going with that A-split through drop. That's not something we see every day in the pistol round. So the fact that OpTic are showing, hey, we're a little bit more familiar on this map, the match is going to be a bit harder for you here, Lounge Gaming, and already it was close enough on train to make this match interesting. So we'll see here how it develops. Daps with that MAC-10 will find Oskarish in the, well, basically out of position on the A site, and that's drawing a lot of Lounge Gaming over here, which opens up the B site. Rush takes the perfect time to rush out there and actually pick up a kill.
MICHU coming in from the side, trying to see if he can stop the bomb from going down. Even if he had, it probably wouldn't have made a big difference. But I mean, they get the kill on Daps and try and see if they can make their way out. SZPERO, he's picked up the MAC-10. He's got body armor and a smoke, so he's got some, you know, equipment here that he can save for the upcoming round. That might be a good idea. And you have to appreciate that when Daps is making a play like that, if it goes wrong and he goes down without killing anyone, he's only giving him a MAC-10. It's not such a big deal. If he gets a kill and gets some information, which he did, then that's huge for them. I mean, it's very low risk and the reward's potentially quite big, so it's a nice idea.
And, well, for Lounge, I mean, we're going to be seeing no money on the next round. There's going to be no money for them. It's nice for OpTic that they've only managed to lose one guy, and Lounge is going to, it's basically going to be a nothing round. It's going to be about what SZPERO can really get done with the MAC-10.
And I mean, since he does like to pick up the AWP, if he can get a couple of kills with the MAC-10, that would be huge for his economy and his ability to buy that big sniper rifle in the fourth round. But we'll see where it takes them. I mean, it's not so easy when you're playing against armor.
No. And OpTic can be really greedy here as well. They can just hang on to the Galils that they have and the SMGs. They can just keep those weapons because they won't be super good, but they can just keep being greedy against Lounge in this position where they already have a lead on rounds.
Speaking of greed, SZPERO doesn't pass off his pistol as 5-7 to his teammate.
Wow.
Oskar, well, there you go. SZPERO actually manages to pick up the first kill, so that's going to work out just fine. Daps is gone, so good damage here initially. From Lounge, mouz, though, going to get taken out on the B site, and this is just going to open everything up here for OpTic. They can just push out onto the site now, get control of it, and get that bomb planted. So it comes out now to SZPERO getting in position to get an exit frag, to get somebody from OpTic Gaming trying to get away from that bomb when it blows up. So he wants that, he's already got $600 in his pocket, bonus. Now he wants to get up to 12, and he should have a good chance of getting up to that AWP.
Yeah, so Lounge just trying to play for some frags here to see if they can get anything extra done. We'll see a MAC-10 picked up by Oskarish. Unfortunately for Lounge, they will lose SZPERO. Again, he's trying to build that bank to be able to afford an AWP, getting some extra kills with that MAC-10. Not going to be happening anymore. He'll be shut down. So Oskarish is just trying to be sneaky, trying to hold the back. But you can see smart movement from OpTic. They know what is clear, and they're only moving through the spots which have been previously cleared out. So they don't run into Oskarish hiding behind some corner. And there he's forced to go for an engagement, gets taken down. And OpTic, they're playing way better than their train match. When they're faced against low economy, they're handling it properly. They're not really losing anybody. It's all going to be about Lounge actually creating some good adjustments here. But at least SZPERO has the AWP, but he's got no armor because he was too poor.
Yeah, and that, I mean, that can punish you, but on a map like Cobblestone, where the distance is so great, I feel like it's all right to not have the armor. Not a good chance he's going to get grenaded too much. He misses the first shot and tries to go for a bit more. He's got to be careful here, and misses the second shot as well. And now the grenades, he managed to dodge them. And again, if you don't have body armor and you get hit by an HE grenade, you take so much more damage. So you've got to be really careful about that. He's not falling too far back, and he's got a bit of backup here. This is not a good defense, I think, for Lounge over at the B-bomb site, which is so popular. If they get pushed in with only 3 people there, that's going to be a big problem.
There's a bit of the bait, though. One shot going out from that AWP that puts Oskarish here in position to actually catch them off guard, but he peeks out, he gets impatient, and ShahZaM spots him immediately. Easy headshot there for ShahZaM to open up that A site. We have a big rotation coming out here from Lounge, but unfortunately for OpTic, they aren't in position to take advantage of that. 3 guys over on that A site, and OpTic, the bomb is over here on A. They had 4 players here as well. They just couldn't pounce on the B site to take advantage of that mistaken positioning.
Stanislaw is going to go down. That was MICHU with a big kill, and now that's going to bring him back 4-on-4. 50 seconds left, and Rush making his way onto the plateau here. mouz with a big kill, going for a little bit more. He was a big player for Lounge Gaming on train, and he's going to have to step it up again. He gets shot in the back door by ShahZaM, and now it's down 3-on-3. 35 seconds left. NAF picking up a kill, and Innocent all alone here. OpTic, if they win this round, the first time that Lounge can actually buy rifles here on Cobblestone, and they might just get shot out of the round, and that's so disappointing, and it's so disheartening. Innocent, I mean, he's walking into a triangle, and it's not going to be good here. Innocent, a little bit of damage, but now they're closing in on him, and he's going to get shot in the back as well. Ends up dropping to ShahZaM. Big round for OpTic.
And that round taught me a lot about the mind state of Lounge, because I mean, already SZPERO was taking big risks with the AWP. He was re-peeking in a spot where for the timing where he was still there can be someone pushing him very close, and they know he was playing that position, so that was already very risky. But then they have a huge overreaction. They move all the defense towards A, and OpTic had so much time left to play with, and they didn't show the bomb yet. Lounge are overreacting, and they've got to start calming themselves down if they want to be able to effectively defend against OpTic, because they actually played that round very well, I feel, how they slowly went back towards B. It worked perfectly.
It did work perfectly, but I think mainly because mouz wasn't able to hit the shots from box. Unfortunately for Lounge there, that would have made all the difference. He picks up 2. Rush in a great position to catch that flash through. He's not blinded when it goes through that smoke, and so he's able to pick up the double kill. And now Innocent's going to have to go ahead and take a little bit of a risk here. He's going to play an off angle, but they're going to spot him out. Rush is hungry. He gets 3, nearly gets 4 as well. SZPERO was just taking a step to the left. He would have been gone. And instead, he's going to be able to actually just end that streak. So big advantage here for OpTic. This should be, wrapped up nice and neat for them. They shouldn't lose anybody else here to oskarish.
That really looked like Rush had done his homework there.
Yeah. Very
nicely done there by Stanislaw.
And let's look at the dilemma right now for Lounge. Lounge are going to have, again, the situation where, okay, they can buy some weapons, but generally speaking, their defense has not been working out. They might be feeling like we need to cut some corners here. So, one way that a team might do that is they might position 4 players towards B, because that's could be a really, really hard push to hold. OpTic is quite likely at this point that they're going to go for a hard B here. They've not really tested Lounge there thoroughly with the kind of set plays we're used to seeing. But Lounge are going with a very standard play here, and we are going to see a very fast B play from OpTic indeed.
Wow, they're just pushing right in here. NAF leading the charge with the M4, and they line up. He almost sprays down both of them. That AWP not being put into play on the CT side yet. MICHU, he's got a kill on NAF, and they're very low on the terrorist side. It might actually be possible for them to bring him back, but daps burning MICHU alive. I don't think he realized the Molotov was up, and now SZPERO and oskarish, they have to fall back, even if they're so low on health on the terrorist side. They can't afford to give up these rifles. oskarish gonna pick up 1, but there's a guy right behind them in the smoke. Stanislaw hasn't really been found out yet, and it's still a 2-on-3. They're trying to see if they could bring it back in here, but I don't think they should. I think they're gonna end up giving away these rifles, and that would be a big, big mistake. Rush is gonna end up going down. Stanislaw with a kill there as well. And now, well, 6 rounds in a row for OpTic Gaming. They survive both daps and Stanislaw with 7 health each, but they do win the round.
I don't want to be outcome oriented in any way, but I feel like Lounge do need to take some risks. They need to stop this momentum from OpTic. I think the B defense early in the game, we have 4 players there. You play it very defensively on A. That could have been a good response there, but now they're actually going for another buy instead of saving. That means there's no AWP on SZPERO. They've got a mag 7. They're lacking grenades. They're in a desperate situation where they got a disadvantage. OpTic, they're playing patiently. They are trying to allow Lounge to make mistakes in their desperate state, and then they're just going to shut it down.
And what was that? I think a bit over $12,000 on ShahZaM, and he's the AWP player, so he can buy that up for a long time, and that's a big problem for Lounge Gaming. It means if they start winning rounds, they'll have to win consecutive rounds to actually break that terrorist side economy. So they've got a lot of trouble right now on their hands, and not much of an answer, it seems. A similar setup with 2 people playing over at A long and 3 people set up over at B. And that 3 people set up at B is easy to break if you know what you're doing, and it definitely seems like OpTic do.
They've still got control of drop at least, so Innocent, he is playing up close there. He's looking to try and catch one of the angles that OpTic might use to get out onto this B site. And now they're going to start changing it up. They're going to give up control of that. They want to focus on Plateau. MICHU might be in a bit of a tight spot here. Molotov goes down behind him, and he can't capitalize. He doesn't get a kill, but there will be a trade. mouz at least is able to pick off Rush. There's the push from Stanislaw. He doesn't look left somehow, and that's opening it up for mouz to just wreck his team. ShahZaM and NAF are the last 2 alive, and not for long.
Oh, Innocent with a shot there. NAF-FLY alone in a 1-on-3. It might be time for the Polish team to finally pick up around here on Cobblestone, and it's much needed as well. SZPERO going to be taking down NAF, and a triple kill for mouz. I mean, it seems like if anything has to work on this Lounge Gaming side, it has to start with mouz.
Oh yeah, and this is actually a really scary position for Lounge, because they need to stabilize right now. If OpTic are able to win a round after doing the damage that they did previously, Lounge's money is going to be completely destroyed, and they're going to have a horrible half. Lounge need to win this next round. It's so incredibly crucial.
They do get a full buy here, and this is going to be a big deciding round here. Rush just goes right through, which point blank picks him off. Luckily, though, Stanislaw is in position to actually get that refrag, and so OpTic, they can speed up right behind this. The bomb is with them here on the A site. They just got to go crashing through the defense, and Innocent down at connector.
A big opening. oskarish here, shooting them in the back, but he's missing every single bullet, it seems. And NAF in turn picking up a double. That was a horrendous defense, and now it's going to be down to mouz in a 1-on-4. There's not a lot that he can do, and this is the worst possible situation you could be in Counter-Strike, because as you lose, and this is how the economy works, as you lose, you build up a round loss bonus all the way up to 3,400. When they win the round, they reset that bonus. They're down to 1,400 a round, so now they have no money, no equipment, and it's going to be a while before they can actually start buying again. This is a very, very bad position to be in.
Yeah, and again, like you said, the defense there was really atrocious. I mean, firstly, SZPERO's taking a risk early to go for the pick. That's okay. I mean, the fact that OpTic did rush him down, it's hard to really predict that. He did even get a frag, but it's really up to the two players coming in from behind that position. They both got killed 1 versus 1. That cannot happen in that kind of a spot. And as you mentioned, the best case scenario for Lounge right now looks like, you know, maybe a 10-5 scoreline for OpTic. That is probably best case for them in this position.
If this finishes 10-5, I will definitely applaud Lounge. That would be incredible if they could bring it back to that.
Yeah.
I'm fearing it's going to be much worse than that, like a 12-3 kind of finish here. OpTic, they look, yeah, just completely unstoppable.
They look very comfortable. It's a different OpTic that we're seeing. I mean, it's just winning that first map on train, where they did look a little shaky, has given them the confidence here necessary to go onto Cobblestone. And it seems Cobblestone is a map that they're feeling their game on. They know what they need to do. We aren't seeing any of the hesitation that we saw on train that ended up costing them rounds versus Lounge. So Lounge, the fact that they're getting their economy reset again is just going to it's going to put so much pressure on them. You even see a little bit of a face palm coming out. They know that they're really deep in this. They know that they're so far behind.
And I mean, when our analyst panel were sort of pointing out that this is a young team for Lounge Gaming, this is where it really kicks in. Yeah. They do have Lord behind them, but I mean, he can't sort of just transfer all of his experience onto them. And if they're starting to lose control mentally, if they're starting to get a little bit too nervous, again, this is a chance they might never have again to try and play in a league as big as this one. There's a lot of pressure on them right now, and they do seem to be crumbling a little bit under that pressure.
They are managing to at least get, daps calling up a nice shot there. That isn't an easy one, especially if he's bottom ramp. For SZPERO to pick him off from the top of it. Stanislaw will find the last kill on mouz, and they do keep control of the situation. OpTic, 4 players alive, and their money is completely out of control. OpTic don't have anything to worry about in this half now. It's going to take several rounds before they're broke, before they have to go to pistols. They're pretty much always going to have the rifles here to work with. So again, just another thing that's stacking up on Lounge, making their job that much harder here. They won't have any easy rounds to play with. And, well, they go into the big buy round here. They have to do it, but they're light on nades. They have no kits. They're just cutting corners. They're hoping that they can get lucky here.
Well, definitely need some luck right now. Could really help them out.
You said they needed to take some chances, and I actually think you're right, Dan. I think you can't just play this by the book when you're this far down. You've got to try and see if you can roll a really hard 6 here.
Well, and we're in Vegas, right? So.
And OpTic have been throwing in some pretty crazy rounds here and there.
We are in Vegas, and I think the chances of you hitting a jackpot are still sort of better than an NA team actually winning a tournament. But it might just be happening here. This is Vegas after all.
All right, well, it looks like OpTic are moving in towards middle now, so they're taking control of both sides of the map. And what they're setting up here is will look to be an A-side push, but it looks like the defense here is okay if that does go down, then things can work out for Lounge. But OpTic, they're trying to create a disparity in the defense there. They're trying to make the CTs move towards the A-bomb site. It didn't happen, so Lounge are in a pretty good position here, 4 versus 2, and OpTic have to make a call, and it's going to have to be a risky one.
I mean, I was going to say that OpTic are doing a pretty good job of getting in position, like, the buddy system is being used, right? Where you have the first man who goes in. If he gets caught, you have your second man right behind him who gets the refrag, trades effectively, right? We are seeing that from OpTic, but they did get whittled down in this round. They ended up losing a couple of players here over on long, and that's not going to help things here. Although ShahZaM, he might be in a bit of a tricky spot here because MICHU gonna go for the pop flash straight out, and it's super effective. Big spray from him, and somehow he doesn't capitalize.
No way. You're supposed to win that every single time. It was so beautiful as we got both of them with the flashbang. Now mouz is playing close, and here's the problem. The time that's left. 15 seconds, and they finally drop mouz, but oskarish still here. Can they get that bomb plant down? NAF-FLY is the one who has it. 10 seconds. oskarish, if he pushes up now, ShahZaM is going to try and put the bomb down. One bullet. He's missing the shot, and now the bomb is going to go down with 4 seconds left. oskarish, 1 bullet on either player is going to be enough, but ShahZaM, he brings it back, and they win that 2-on-4.
Oh, no.
OpTic, just unbeatable right now.
That is so painful to witness. That's very hard to watch.
Yeah.
That is hard to watch.
Just a little, grinding your teeth a little bit, just wincing a little bit there.
That is hard to watch. That as Anders said there, that's an every time situation. MICHU gets those kills to rounds 1.
At least one of them, just one would be enough.
Oh yeah. Okay, so they need to be able to reset themselves after that, because that's one of those spots as well where you start to really tilt. We're in poker, we can use, it's in Vegas, we can use poker terms here.
Well, we can't obviously hear the communication, but when you start to see mistakes like that, it is an indication, it is a symptom of sort of the breakdown on the team, and we've seen it before, but it is rough to see because you know that he should have got that kill. Gotta point out how well NAF is playing. I think he's 13 and 3 right now. That's incredible.
Yeah, NAF has come alive on this map. He is doing fantastic work right now for OpTic. Well, we're going to see another Molotov going down, forcing MICHU out of position. He's going to have to jump back. He does decide to change it up, though. He's not going to fall back to the site. Instead, he's holding close, and that's going to cost him full flash, but he still gets the headshot somehow. He makes it expensive, at least a little bit here for OpTic, but OpTic, again, they have the advantage. They have the rifles, and now they're clearing out all these angles. They should be able to get off to this site, no problem, but it is taking a little bit more work. Nice shot there from Stan, though. Great spray transfer onto the second target.
Oh dear. I'm still I'm trying to rack my brain around this. How can Lounge find their way back into this one? And when it comes to strategy, tactics, and all that kind of stuff, well, we've seen Lounge in spots where they have picked the right strategies. We've seen them in spots where, like with MICHU there, where tactically he's got a ridiculous advantage, but in both situations they're not closing. So this is a really hard spot. They need to somehow rally together and take a deep breath, calm themselves down, take their time, and try to re-enter some kind of a comfort zone. But when you're in this kind of position where you know that if you lose this map, it's done, yeah, that's really hard. But the only saving grace that they have here is that Lounge, all they really need is something around 3 rounds. Because the T side of this map is very strong. It is very strong. If you've got a really strong B split even, some teams can get really far with just that alone. There is still hope for them.
I think if they get 3 rounds, then winning the pistol round is a definite requirement. Yeah. I think if they only got 3 rounds and lose the pistol, it's done. Yeah, if they win 3 rounds and get the pistol, I think they even still need to win the 4th round. It's going to be so rough. Yeah. A real uphill battle here for the Polish side. I mean, 10-1. You guys just saw Train, and it was much more even. Ended 13-16 in favor of OpTic. SZPERO finally announcing himself and coming up with a kill on daps. More of that, please.
Yeah, he has been going for that aggressive peek through underpass, though. Up towards T-spawn. He just keeps on doing it. This time he's actually successful with that opening frag. And there is no refrag for OpTic. They can't get in there and get that trade kill. So this is an important round here. It's set up nicely for Lounge Gaming to just now fall back, play from the site, play the clock, make OpTic Gaming have to just, check all these corners, waste a lot of the time that's so valuable here. Lounge do not need to be peeking. They don't need to be giving them anything here to work with. Taking a risk where OpTic get a kill like that. ShahZaM will find SZPERO in the end. And this is how Lounge Gaming can lose this round, by peeking unnecessarily.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. This is very dangerous now. We're back into a tight situation, but Stan is picking up the shot on Innocent. It's going to make things very tricky here. 3 on 4. Molotov's coming in to try and block off the entrances, and alone in the back of the site is oskarish, and this would be one hell of a hero performance if he can actually survive this and even get a couple of kills. He's trying to push out early. He sprays and takes down Stanislaw, but not going to be enough. Rush will take him down. NAF-FLY dropping mouse, and MICHU alone in a 1-on-3, and the bomb has gone down. And I mean, you don't really want to save a rifle when you're this far behind, but at the same time, you might just need that rifle in the upcoming round. The chance that you'll win a 1-on-3 like this, very, very slim.
It is, but he has to go for it. He has to take the risk, and it's not going to work. Second man on that site. Good gamble there, paying off by Rush and OpTic. He's able to just catch him off guard as they push out. But again, I think right now, irregardless of experience, we're seeing something that happens sometimes where when the first map in a best of 3 is so close, and the team that loses might feel that they should have won it, it's so difficult for them to get their head back in the game in the second round, or the second map of the series. And sometimes it just doesn't come together at all, which is what we're seeing now. Lounge, they keep getting in positions where they should be able to lock it down and, take some rounds here on their CT side, but they just aren't able to. OpTic, they've got them in that chokehold.
Oh yeah, they're loving it. At this point, they're really loving it. There's nothing that they can do wrong at this stage. It would feel for them. They could, do any crazy kind of plays, and they're going to probably make it look pretty good at this point in time. So
it makes your job harder as well, Dan, because trying to analyze what's happening. I mean, you can get into this zone, and because Lounge Gaming are making a lot of small mistakes and finding it hard. I mean, that brilliant pop flash from MICHU there that ended up failing. You can't really analyze that except to say that it should have worked. He should have got at least one, maybe both of the kills. But because they're feeling the pressure, because they realize how far they are behind in the game, they make some bad mistakes, and it's really hurting them here.
It's the difference between the tier 1, the teams that win tournaments. Now we've seen teams like Fnatic, like the best teams in the world, come back from these sorts of situations. That's the beauty of CS. You're never out of the match. You can always make a run back happen. You have to have the experience to do so. You have to have the bravery. Right now, we just aren't really seeing it. ShahZaM, Stanislaw, both picking up kills. Nice peek there by mouz. He's going to be able to convert that into 3, but he's not going to be enough. They do manage to get him down, and now with 30 seconds left, there's plenty of time here for OpTic to get the bomb plant and get in position to hold this site. I think Stanislaw got spotted there by SZPERO, though. This might be some information, but there's the spray from Stanislaw, and that's pretty much the kill that's going to make the difference in this round.
Huge triple for him here. NAF is going to spray him down through the corpse of a teammate, and NAF we're going to finish the round right there. 12-1 in favor of OpTic, and we've got to, I mean, that triple spray with the FAMAS weapons, like possibly the worst weapon to try and continue to spray with, still makes it work, and it's not enough. I mean, if you've got a player who picks up a triple kill, you win that round.
Yeah. Except
Lounge aren't winning it.
Yeah, I mean, SZPERO wasn't a bad spot trying to approach from the back with a mag 7 long range. Not the easiest, but yeah, that was a little bit lackluster. mouz has been stepping his game up where, you know, other players haven't been, and they're going for an aggressive play. So they're trying to take forward positioning here, and NAF is just going to completely destroy them.
It looks like they went for the double flash through smoke again, or rather the flash with the double push in behind it. And OpTic are just not getting caught off guard by that. That's the second time that that's failed, and it's just not working out. Innocent with no Kevlar, taking nades to the face. That is not what he wants to happen. He's down to 40 HP, and he's going to have to fall back, but NAF is going to hunt him down. Third frag of the round for NAF, and Stanislaw decides to chime in with one of his own.
Yeah, I mean, you can understand, it's a good play to try to go for a risk, a good idea, but it's much harder on this map than others to do it as a CT side, and it's just not panning out here for the Lounge so far. Oskarish able to pick up one frag at the end there, but it's going to be another round for OpTic. 13-1. It's such a massive scoreline. Again, it's a very T-sided map, but I mean, we've got to wonder about how Lounge are, you know, feeling mentally. This has been the theme.
I would sort of dare to say that they're feeling pretty terrible at the moment. And this is a big opportunity for them. On the other hand, OpTic Gaming, you know, just picked up by a huge organization, tons of fans as well watching, and yeah, this is obviously a fantastic start for them if they can sort of qualify for the E-League right away. ShahZaM with the AWP, the money is never going to be an issue for OpTic here, and on the Lounge side, I mean, it's very scarce. 2 Mag 7s, couple of FAMAS, a single M4, that's what they've got to work with, and I mean, at this point, the best they can do is 13-2, trying to win this last round of the half.
Cross your fingers. And NAF decides to go aggressive after playing pretty passively so far, waiting for that push to come through from Lounge if they decide to go for it again. And there it is, and he's going to get rewarded. Free kill onto MICHU. MICHU doesn't know what hit him. But that's not where the push is going to come through here for OpTic. Instead, it's going to be SZPERO annihilating Stanislaw. And he could get a second one. He does! Both headshots, and that could turn it around here for Lounge. Now they've actually got some weaponry to work with here.
Yeah, they stopped the play there. The idea was that NAF was supposed to lurk and keep pressure, keep players from rotating to A whilst the push goes in towards that A-bomb site. But here it is, plan B, quite literally, as they move on to that B-bomb site, and NAF gets the opener. Oh, there you go. ShahZaM is going to drop Innocent. This is looking awful again for Lounge.
It's like watching a car crash. You just can't look away.
Everything they do is turning out perfectly right now for the North American side here. SZPERO and oskarish are left, but they're very low on health. Still 30 seconds here, and Rush going to try and move away his round. Trying to shoot the rock there, but not quite working out. ShahZaM, though, picking up the last couple of kills, making it a triple, and they win the first half 14-1. That's ridiculous.
You know, I was talking about how, you know, usually at the majors, right, NA are the ones. This time, they're the ones who've got, you know, I don't know, the glass in their mitt or something like that. They're just laying them out. This is ugly. Well, talk about total dominance here for NA. I mean, if anything, NA really needed this sort of confidence boost, right? You know, just a dominant map to lock out a best of 3, to establish that they are the top dogs here.
Yeah, we were talking about sort of the, you know, how good of a pickup was it by the OpTic organization to get this team. I mean, with this kind of victory early on, definitely a fantastic start for them. 14-1. Surely, Dan, there's no way to lose this.
No. There is, I mean, again, Counter-Strike is always a way back, but right now Lounge just look too broken. They do get to dictate the pace, but it has to start on this pistol round. Pistol round, it just often comes down to the shots. Strategies can be very loose, and you can have a very fast pace. The Glocks just need to close the distance against those USPs of the CT side, and they're trying to do so towards the A site. They've got Innocent on the B side of the map, trying to be a lurker, trying to just potentially go into the drop zone. It's where he wants to try to come into the flank. And Lounge has slowed their pace now. They're looking for potentially just an opening kill if the TPs get aggressive, but they're just holding it. And here it is. The push comes in towards A.
daps isn't able to capitalize on that, though. mouz is going to take his face off, but there are 2 players here still alive on the site. ShahZaM finds a headshot, and Rush gives away his position. Up close with the CZ75. He's trying to reload, and it takes so long, and they give him the time. He gets the punish, and what is that? He actually manages to bring it back, Rush. Now he's actually got a better gun to work with as well.
He was out of bullets in the CZ. He had to pick up that Glock, and oskarish is going to take him down now. It's all on NAF here. 1-on-2. He's got a good angle to try and get some headshots, but he's going to try and switch it up here. Still no bomb plant for the terrorist side. It's just going to go through now, and NAF, this would be complete robbery if he actually comes away with this round. He's definitely not favored in it, and now it should be done. He's down to 3 health, and they know where he is roughly as well. He's putting some shots through here, But Lounge Gaming, I think they may have bought themselves just a bit of breathing room. He ends up dropping. It's a quad kill here for oskarish, and that's going to be the round. Lounge, they hang on.
That's where you see, though, the nerves coming through. When you have a CZ75 reloading, it takes a long time to reload that gun.
Yeah.
So if you aren't pushing him, if you aren't just in his face, getting rid of him immediately once you hear that reload sound go off, you know the nerves are there. They're like, ah, is he, you know, should we do it? Shouldn't we?
Oh, I think they're going to go for a stack towards the A side here. They're playing really just. It's going to be quite painful for Lounge to move in towards the A side. It looks like OpTic are expecting this. I'm very scared for Lounge right now because things have not been looking so good for them, but they make the right entrance through the underpass there. Now towards the A bomb side, they spotted the stack, and they're actually dealing with it pretty well with the MAC-10s. So it looks okay for Lounge right now.
Doing fantastic, although ShahZaM is able to make it a little bit more expensive here. He picks up another kill. Innocent with the refrag. SZPERO is so low, though. He's only on 1 HP. If NAF, he picks this timing. Perfectly done.
I'm surprised SZPERO is trying to take an engagement there. His team have the bomb site. He's got 1 HP.
What can you do?
You know that there's a guy's there. Just run, just run.
No escape. He had nowhere to go, Dan.
All right, so it looks like Lounge are holding on so far, but I would say the greatest test is yet to lie in the future rounds when the buys come in. But there's no, they can't fail at all. There's no buffer of rounds for them to work with. If they lose a round, it's already going to be match point for OpTic.
Yeah, we got to give it to NAF, though. He's had a terrific performance on this second map. He's already up at 21 frags. I mean, that's like a 3-to-1 ratio. That is really good. I
feel like the sort of the classic development from here on out in a game of Counter-Strike is actually for a team like Lounge to sort of start bringing it back a lot. But once they get close, this is the problem. If they, let's say they bring it back to sort of 14, 13 type scoreline, that's where suddenly the nerves are in again. Because until that point, you're actually already sort of in the mental state that says, we've probably lost this, let's just try and play the best that we can from now on. And then you're back at 14, 13, you realize we could actually win this, and then it goes out the window again. So that happens a lot, and hopefully it won't happen this time around. It'd be great to see a third map, but I mean, OpTic on the other hand, they've really earned this. They've deserved it so far.
Well, Lounge really need that third map. Mirage is a map that they should be heavily favored on.
Yeah.
So if they could somehow, make the comeback happen here, we've already one of the best comebacks we've ever had in CSGO. But to take it to a third map, that would be truly fantastic. It's their best shot. But, well, they're doing a pretty good job here, OpTic, of just laying waste to Lounge. NAF-FLY with that Galil. He's going to pick up another kill, and it's down to Innocent and oskarish, the last two alive here for Lounge. Not like this, Anders. It cannot go down in an anti-eco.
Well, NAF-FLY feels differently about that. He steals a Galil and picks up 2 kills with it. Innocent and oskarish are left now, so 2-on-3 here. They still have control of the bomb, which is very important, but wherever they move, OpTic should be having a pretty good read on it. The only advantage right now is the lack of the fuse kit right now on OpTic, and obviously the sort of weaponry is a bit worse, so Lounge could bring this one back, but it's looking tricky anyway.
Yeah, looks like Das has a good idea. If Das gets these shots off, that is good game right there. It's going to come down to these opening engagements. Lurking, and there it is. He gets the kill, and oskarish has to get it done. 1 versus 3. It's not going to happen, and that's match point now for OpTic Gaming. And I can't really emphasize this enough. Lounge had the right idea, but the execution on the coordination was really terrible in that round. If they coordinate that properly, and because they had a really nice forward position on SZPERO with a MAC-10, he got straight into drop zone. He was too angsty though. He just went straight in. Too anxious, and his teammates were nowhere near in position to support him.
Well, he's nearing the end here. It's 15-3. We're in the 19th round of the second map. And OpTic, they've already won train. They line up for ShahZaM. He almost gets a double shot, then he only takes down MICHU. But Rush is there. Takes 1, takes 2, then 3. 2 of them headshots, and Innocent, well, he's going to be the last left here. It's a 1-on-3. And OpTic Gaming, they might just be 1 kill away from qualifying here for the E-League. Innocent trying to play around the statue and seeing if he could somehow make it out. But you got to feel like even if he does, will it really make a difference in the long run? He's hiding in the corner, and daps trying to check for every single part of this bomb site. He goes down. Nice shot from Innocent. That's a triple. He's looking for the quad. Stanislaw is right there. AK comes out, but Stanislaw's going to win the round. And 16-3. OpTic, they've made it through.
What a success for OpTic. North America 2-0 over Europe, and they actually get the job done. They get that spot in the Turner E-League.
Wow. Well, there it is, ladies and gentlemen. And just a special thanks to the Downtown Grand Hotel in Las Vegas for taking care of the players. Obviously, also the FACEIT platform. Go and check out FACEIT.com and participate and join up. And also Need for Seat. Players sitting comfortably while they're playing. And now we're going to go to the analyst desk to break down this second map.
What a strong performance from the North American team there. A very solid performance on that second map. They seem to have put Lounge over the knee and gave them the spanking there. A service perhaps you normally have to pay for in Vegas.
Yeah, and you're talking about being sponsored for by NAF-FLY. They're not going to be able to sit down after that, I don't think at all. That was quite the spanking. So it's a shame in a way. It's never nice to see blowouts in Counter-Strike, but what you've got to respect is just the dominant performance on this map. OpTic Gaming are very good on Cobblestone. That was one of the things that maybe they did need to switch out their permanent ban of Inferno, and that's what happened. So real sad for this young team from Poland, because as I said at the start of the show, I don't know if they'll ever get an opportunity again to maybe be involved in E-League, whereas I think OpTic might have, but OpTic have done what they needed to do, and they're worthy winners here today.
Yeah, I mean, the big question for me with this is, I looked at the pick ban, I thought, okay, makes sense here, should be a win on Train for the Lounge guys, then we'll get a win. It was definitely going to be a win for these guys on Cobble, but I thought, okay, we'll see Mirage then, because that's a map we almost never see from the guys who are on OpTic. They never even had to show us that, because they took care of the Lounge guys map, and then they smashed their own map. Now, I have to say, in favor to Lounge, it wasn't as bad as it appeared on the scoreboard, because you have to realize, if they don't lose the pistol rounds on Train, they could have done similar there. They could have run away with the score. They didn't though, so props to the OpTic guys for taking care of the business professionally on the other guy's map, and then absolutely dominant performance on the Cobblestone map there, obviously.
Yeah, we never got to finish the points on the pistol rounds just before the second map started. So again, OpTic winning the pistol round on the T side, a side which you could argue is more favoured on this map, and then they roared off to a 6-0 victory. We're going to see a few replays here. OpTic, we're in a situation. Well, I'll let you run with it.
Yeah, this is what I wanted to highlight, just the nerves. Everyone was talking about nerves. Who would it affect? Well, it affected Lounge Gaming. I mean, this is an absolute cataclysmic round. You see this pop flash coming in from MICHU. He goes for the peak, and look at it. He's just whipping everything, spraying away, gets took out by NAF-FLY. The comedy doesn't end there, though. It's just so bad from both teams. And, we were talking about showcasing Counter-Strike. Baby, this ain't Counter-Strike what's going on here. They're missing absolutely everything. It's so back and forth. And this is the tension, This is OpTic Gaming are ahead, but obviously they know they really need to consolidate this lead. Lounge Gaming are fighting for their lives. Look, it's still missing shots. I mean, you can't believe this is high-level Counter-Strike.
That started off as a 4 versus 2 as well. So that was, again, I think they were really feeling the pressure, maybe of the occasion, maybe of losing their own map and realizing that they had a, OpTic Gaming had a blanket, basically. They had a comfort zone, and CSGO Lounge had nothing.
Yeah, that's one of the worst rounds I've seen. That might even still be one of the worst rounds of Counter-Strike in 2016 by the end.
Yeah, the thing about Cobblestone is one of the reasons why some people speculate maybe it's one of the maps we should swap out in Counter-Strike is it's so telegraphed that the terrorist team will go to the B site almost every time. But as a result, it really shows if you can play the map or not, because you saw, if you know they're coming B all the time, you have your good setup where you've got just enough men there, but you're not gambling off the other site. The Poles had no answers at any time on that B site there. It was basically just a free round win every time the guys from OpTic went there. They could even go there slow, without smokes, without flashes, and they could always get in and get the bomb down. So a very, very poor performance from the Polish guys in just holding the B site, which is really the metric for this map.
Yeah. If you had a John Smith versus a John Doe on this map, how many rounds would you expect on average the T side to get?
I think reasonably, if they're equal skill, which is kind of what you're implying, it should probably be like 10 T rounds. I think usually if you know how to play the map, you win the T half, but that should be what reasonably should be, because a team who also know how to play the T side, on their CT side, they kind of understand the counters, whereas you saw there, the guys from Lounge couldn't do any of the things they did on Train. Train's a map they're good at, so on that map, they could take chances, they could go through smokes, they could cut off choke points, they could have people in rotating spots. Here, they sat back and just prayed that they'd hit the first headshot. And so as a result, they didn't get any of the shots when the guys were clumped up at the fountain, and they could never hold the B side.
Okay, that's going to bring our desk to a close for this event. So thank you very much to Richard and to Thorin for being with us today. We're going to throw over to DDK now, who's on the stage with the players.
All right, ShahZaM. I can see you bouncing around right now. I can see a lot of energy. How are you feeling? What's going through your head?
So I'm just so excited. I'm really glad that we managed to close that out. We didn't get a lot of practice in, but we focused on playing our own game. But props to Lounge Gaming for making it all the way here. That was a pretty big surprise. But yeah, I don't know what to say. Feels good.
So on the first map, it looked like things were going pretty poorly for you guys. You started off with a 10-5 deficit. So I mean, did you ever expect Train to go that way? What were your thoughts on Train?
We actually didn't even expect to play Train at all. We knew we thought they were gonna pick either Cash or Mirage, whichever one we didn't veto. So when they picked Train, we were a little surprised. But it was close. Well played to them. I'm glad our team maintained our composure, kept ourselves in it. A lot of clutch rounds actually won us that in my eyes. But yeah, we didn't expect to play Train.
And do you think you guys just got into the head of Lounge there? The second map looked, I mean, you completely crushed them.
Yeah, I think momentum played a really large role in that. Our team's a really momentum-based team, and we were winning. Like, we won the pistols, except CT pistol, but we won the anti-ecos. We're playing really slow, and we didn't really give them any room for making any plays, and they were low on money the whole time, so we just played the economy game too.
All right, well, congratulations, of course. Going to walk home with some tidy bits of change right there. Semler is ready, my lovely assistant. We tried to get him a wig, but we couldn't find one at such short notice. Semler, if you do the honors to hand over the check to OpTic Gaming. Give them a round of applause, guys. All right, and there it is. That means the road to Vegas has come to a conclusion. And what an exciting one it's been. We hope you guys have enjoyed the experience. Of course, if you are still hungry for more carnage here from some of the best teams in the world playing Counter-Strike Global Offensive, you have wait no more than this summer where the E-League will be finally presented by Turner Broadcasting. You can find out more information about that at e-league.com. But from me and the rest of the crew, again, we thank you for watching. We hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you next time.